Hi, welcome back to the second half of the day. Commentary for this is myself, Bernie McGurk, and I'm joined by Aaron Moran.
Hello.
Hopefully he'll keep me right as we go. The screen's not got the lifters' names on it for this half, so we might be a wee bit blind on who's coming out until we get to know who's lifting, so bear with us, and hopefully we'll keep you right.
So we have Jade Elliot coming up first with 80 kilo on squat. First squat's always a tough one. Once you have that done out of the way with, the rest of the comp is a lot easier.
Yep. Judging depth, just getting the feel for how you are in the first lift's always a bit difficult. So once you get moving, I'm sure she'll be fine.
100%. Strong walkout. Okay. Easy. That's it. That was well in.
Yep, it looks well in for here. I'd expect to see white lights for that.
Easy.
Good lift.
We have Crystal up next, and she's doing 80 kilo as well.
Same weight again.
I think the main thing is just doing a nice, easy opener on all the lifts, especially squat. Kind of gather your bearings and then go from there. Then really.
Yeah, that's right. Getting the first one in is always the tricky part. Sets you up for the day. If you fail your first one, it could put a bit of pressure on yourself.
Yeah, exactly. All right. That's it. Okay. All right. See what the judges say. Good lift. 3 lifts.
Well done. Plenty of depth there as well, I think. I think everybody pushes it just a wee bit further on the first one. Make sure you're in.
Yeah.
Go pretty deep.
Yeah.
As soon as you feel your first lift, the referees have always got a beady eye on you for the setting.
That's it, isn't it? If you're kind of a bit borderline the first one, the referees keep an eye out, and sometimes generally if you go heavier, it's you can kind of cut depth slightly,
Yeah, that's right.
It's good to.
So hopefully everybody will get their first one and take the pressure off, and we could see some big lifts after that.
Absolutely. So we share it up here at 82.5 kilograms. Good setup. That's it. Looks good. Okay. One red.
So Martin's called that in depth. He's holding up a red card.
Yeah.
I couldn't see from here. I'm kind of blocked to one of the referees, so I'm relying on your call because you can see around the side.
It's just hard, isn't it? Just depends on angle you're at, and it's hard to see. I think the referees have the best position in the house, and you have to go from there then. But
you've got to just trust the referees at times. You've got a split second to see it, and you can only call it as you see.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have Arlene coming up here now, and she's a results gym lifter. Been training hard for this competition, and I'm sure she's going to smash this opener. 90 kilograms. Come on, Arlene. Let's go.
And here she comes. It's a bit of a wait about when you're lifting in the afternoon, particularly if you're tight on weight and you've got all morning to kind of starve yourself, if you like.
I know, yeah. It can be a tough one. Good.
Steady squat.
And that's a really nice squat, chest up, knees forward.
Our body position kept strong and tight all the way through that.
Yeah, that's it. I think sometimes when you get nervous or have the pressure on you, you can kind of shoot down and let the hips shoot back and kind of, good morning it up. But it's just taking that time. It might take a wee bit longer, but as long as you keep the hips forward and just focus on that, just make things a lot easier, cleans up things.
It's very easy to run out of position, particularly if you're trying to sink it and go a bit deeper.
Yeah.
You could pull yourself out of line.
Yeah.
Just trust your technique.
That's it, and trust the training, and
Yeah. You've done it 100 times in training, so it's just the same on the platform.
Absolutely. That's it. So we've Fiona with 102.5 kilograms. This is a big opener. Let's have a look.
Weight's starting to climb up now.
Good solid walkout. It's good.
That looks
good.
Pretty deep from here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
looks good to me.
Nice, comfortable opener.
Yeah.
Well done. I could probably see quite a bit being put on that for the next 2 lifts.
Yeah, 100%. There's a lot of room there. We've Molly up now with the same weight again. Let's go.
the standard of lifting in particular for females in Scotland over the last few years has increased dramatically.
100%.
It's been a massive boost.
Yeah.
And much welcomed. A few years ago, not that long ago, you were lucky if you had maybe a dozen members
Yeah.
who were female. You'd maybe have 3 or 4 at a competition. Now, at our height there, I think we nearly had 200 female members.
Crazy.
About the equivalent to men, which it should be.
Yeah, and it's just great to see.
Putting everybody to shame.
Yeah, absolutely. We've 107.5 kilo loaded up here in the bar. But yeah, absolutely. The standard has gone up so much, and it's just great to see. A lot of new faces and some big numbers.
Yeah. We've had good recent success as well, and the Masters winning world titles and stuff.
Okay.
Helen Ferguson Ford won the World Classic for M1 84 Plus just last month.
Oh, wow.
Maureen Gordon won the equipped bench world title as well.
Right.
As well as the world title equipped full power.
Right.
Just in the recent months. So certainly Scotland as a whole are certainly putting themselves on the map.
Absolutely.
And powerlifting.
Absolutely. And there's always a good team at these European international levels. There's a good squad of Scottish lifters.
Yeah, definitely. There's more and more Scottish lifters getting on the international stage, and
yeah,
a wee bit disappointing in recent years. There's not as many people travel to British Classics and British Championships as maybe there could be, but I think that trend's starting to change a wee bit. This year's been good for us.
Absolutely.
And I could only see it improving over the next year or two.
Brilliant. So we've Beatrice up here with 120 kilograms, a big opener. She's also a lifter at results as well. They're training hard for this. Let's see how she goes. Good. Very nice. That was let's see now.
I think she's fine.
Good.
Yes, good lift.
Very good. Too quick.
There was a wee bit of wobble, but it was fine.
Yeah. No drama there, just flew up.
There's a couple of lifters in the morning that were kind of missing start commands and signals. Some newcomers, they probably know what to do, but when you get on the platform for the first time, your mind kind of goes a blank.
That's it, isn't it? We've Robin here with 122.5 kilograms. Okay. There we go.
That looks comfortable as well.
It is a tough one, and I think just even when training and stuff come to competition, it's important just to practice the commands and holding out your squat, standing up tall, and having someone just to judge your depth from both sides, because maybe one side of hip might be higher than the other, and just doing all those things you can in the gym, and it just makes it a little bit easier. But yeah, it is tough, standing out, waiting for your command, waiting for the rack command, all those things where in the gym you're hyped up, you just want to get it done and over with.
That's right. But yeah, it's important to try and take competition standards to your training.
Absolutely.
And it sets you in good stead. So here's Tasman Campbell. She's not been on the platform for a couple of years.
Yeah.
So it's a welcome return to one of our best lifters, basically, over the few years.
Absolutely.
So hopefully she'll show us some good form today.
Interesting to see how she does in deadlift as well. I know that's a big lift for her.
Yeah, she's a 200 deadlifter at her best.
Crazy. There we go.
There's a wee break movement at the top there. You've got to be careful of that sometimes, because you could be called on a double movement.
Yeah.
Just before you start, but that was fine.
Absolutely. And I think Tasman as well, her squat over that good few years has come on a lot.
Yeah.
A big bencher, a big deadlifter, but her squat as well has come on. And, it's important to focus on them lifts across the board just to get that big total.
Yeah, you could be down on one lift, as I know it myself at times, and you could rely on maybe one lift to save the day, and if that lift's kind of off, you kind of struggle. So working on your weaknesses is a massive thing.
Absolutely. So we're starting off seconds attempts here. This is Jade again, up 5 kilo, and it's 85.5 kilograms.
We'll start to see the lifts getting a wee bit tougher now.
Yeah, 100%.
Which they should be. A 5 kilo increase, I would think that this would be comfortable for her.
I think this should be okay.
Compared with her first.
Oh.
She had to work through that. I think she went mega deep.
Yeah, it's just a tough one. It's like that really works a lot of the time, flying down into the squat for some lifters, and you get that bounce reflex.
Yeah.
But the only thing is,
You could lose a lot of tightness.
lose balance. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it just depends. And then other lifters are real slow and steady. We have Crystal here.
Crystal's great technique lifter. I've seen her lifting at least quite a few times when I've been over visiting, and she's technical wise very good.
Yeah. And I think nailing down that technique early is just kind of gives you more room to grow.
Yeah.
Up. Let's see
I'd
now.
say that was a tight
what the-
call for depth.
Yeah.
2-1 side referees.
Just a wee bit deeper.
I think she leaned a wee bit more than what she did in the first one, and it maybe brought her hips up.
Yeah. But there's a few adjustments, and she'll be aware of that for the third one. And hopefully the third one should be fine.
Yeah, I think she'll be fine with that. It's just a wee change.
Yeah. 100%. We have Cheryl here with 90 kilograms.
She's striding out to platform. She means business.
Let's see how things go. Okay.
That looks in for me.
Good.
Hold it there. That
You
looks
want
like
to
a good
say?
squat.
Oh.
3 reds. As you say, for this angle, it's difficult
It's just
to
hard.
tell. Yeah,
I think the judges, they have the best angle, and if it's 3 reds, there's no denying that.
yeah, that's right.
100%.
Arlene to 95 kilos, 1.8.
Arlene back at it again. Gets coached by Marquise, who was competing earlier on today.
Yeah,
Big bench.
Mark lifted it very well.
And now he's handling.
I think
Busy man.
on my calculations, don't quote me on this, but he looks like he's probably in line for best lifter today.
Right. He did put up some serious numbers there. So we have Arlene, 95 kilograms. Let's go, Arlene. That's it. Stick it through.
Good.
Let's see what they say. Good lift.
Yeah, it's good lift. You sometimes see the form getting better on the heavier lifts.
Yeah.
Because you concentrate more. See, sometimes when it's light, you throw yourself out of line because you've not got that placement with the weight to hold you in position.
Yeah.
If that might sound strange, but if you go too light, sometimes you could fly too fast. You could lean forward. Where when it's a heavier weight, you kind of hold your body in place and you strengthen your core a bit tighter just to keep yourself in position.
That's it, absolutely. You don't get complacent with it, really.
Yeah.
So we have Molly here with 107.5 kilograms. Let's see how this goes. There we go.
That looks well in.
It's
That was
a
an
very
easy
kind of quad dominant squat. It looks good,
Yeah. Higher bar, body more upright.
Yeah.
Everybody's squat technique's different depending on the levers. There's no correct way to go.
Absolutely.
There's a correct way for you, but not
Yeah.
for everyone.
And you see a shift now. A lot more lifters are actually lifting in flatter shoes. There was a start when I remember I started powerlifting. Everyone lifted in heels, and you had to.
Yeah.
But now you see maybe a 50-50, and I know myself. I changed from heels back to flats again, and I found that works really well. So it's just trial and error.
Yeah.
Fiona here at 112.5 kilograms.
Our opener was very easy.
Yeah. Okay.
That's well in again.
Come on.
And I'm curious, how much of an increase was that from our opener?
Yeah.
Because the opener was quite comfortable.
She did 112.5 for opener. So
Same weight, 100. Was it up 2.5?
Yep. Let's go, Annie.
I noticed Annalie took to the bodybuilding stage there just no long ago.
Really?
I noticed she was in great shape.
Wow. That's really impressive, being able to do the bodybuilding and the powerlifting,
She's a cracking lifter as well. A great masters lifter.
Okay.
I don't know, for this angle, I hate to say it, but I think she looks a bit high. Yep.
Yeah, just a wee bit.
3 reds on depth.
There's a saying, they say that powerlifters should eat more like bodybuilders and bodybuilders should train more like powerlifters.
That's right.
So she is both. See Robin.
We used to have the same argument. I used to be a sprinter. And we used to train with footballers a lot. A lot of big teams used to come and train with our group.
Yeah.
And you'd get the footballers coming in that thought they were sprinters and they were athletes and stuff. But we always used to say if a footballer could train like an athlete, they would be a far better player.
That's it, isn't it?
But they used to come off second best quite regular.
125 kilo, 2 reds and a clip. Let's see how she gets on. Okay, there we go.
That's a nice comfortable squat.
Yeah,
hopefully
very
she'll
upright.
get whites for that. Yes,
Oh, no problem.
good lift.
Very good. So Beatrice is going up to 127.5. See how she goes. So,
Spotters and loaders doing a cracking job.
Absolutely.
As is the referees.
they were absolutely flying it today, they were saying.
Yeah, it's a long day when you're doing that for the whole day, but the loaders have been brilliant. There's not been any hold-ups whatsoever.
Not at all. Come on, Beatrice. Here we go.
That looked good.
Let's see now.
Worked hard through that. Keep the chest up and shoulders back. Good lift. Good lift though.
I was speaking to John and he was saying that I think they averaged about 40 seconds per lifter in the morning flight.
Yeah, because generally, if you average 1 minute per lift all the way through, that's a good guide on how long it should take.
Yeah.
So I think when they had the setting group to start at 3:30, we were like an hour early.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's testament to show how well it ran the first half.
Absolutely.
Here's Tasman back for her setting.
I think
155.
setting herself up same as the last time. There we go.
We could see a good total for Tasman if she gets some good squats in.
This is a big squat. Setting her hips down, looks good. Knees forward.
Drive the back.
There we
and
go.
up.
Good. That was a good second attempt.
Yeah, it was a good attempt. It's one of those attempts where it was hard, which it should be.
Yeah.
But there's a wee bit left, and that's what your third attempt's for.
Absolutely.
It's for pushing yourself towards that PB territory, if you like.
Yeah, and I think as well, when you come into a competition, you have certain numbers and goals, but it's important to adjust on the day. It depends how you're feeling.
Exactly.
Depends how the weight cut was, environment, and all those things. So adjust them for them, and that's how you can go
That's
from there.
right. I think a lot of people get too set on what their plan is.
Yeah.
But you've got to be able to adapt to that plan if it's not working out the way you think it is.
I think that's how you hit most of your attempts then, that way.
Yeah.
Crystal up here now, retaking 85 kilograms. Missed the last time just on depth, but it looked pretty good. So
I don't think there's much to change here.
no, just a few
I
inches.
think she dipped her chest a bit forward.
Yeah.
Keep that chest up a wee bit, and I think she'll get depth.
Let's see now.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's definitely
looks a bit deeper now.
Push that shoulders back.
That's it.
That looks much better.
We'll see. Oh,
No.
man.
It looked good from this end as well. It must have been very tight.
Yeah, it's pretty tight. It's just when you're getting down and I suppose you have the longer legs as well, it's quite difficult to get down into that depth position, so you have to set a bit more of a lean.
But as we said earlier, once you've failed a squat, the refs have their beady eye on you. And they would probably be looking a bit more closely than they would if it was our setting attempt. Because that was definitely lower than the last one.
Just not quite in yet. So, we have Cheryl back again.
And Cheryl Fielder setting, if I'm right, on depth as well.
Yes, that's right. See how she gets on. That looks deeper. Oh. Just a bit too much.
Just that wee bit deeper just makes it a bit harder to come out the hole.
Absolutely, and it's just tough after coming back from missing a lift and going back in.
Yes.
Sometimes you get it, but sometimes you kind of fatigue yourself and you miss.
That's right.
No harm trying it though. Absolutely.
You've got to be in it to win it.
Yeah.
Push it as hard as you can.
Absolutely. Leave it all on the platform.
Bars loaded.
Oh, Jade.
Back to the start again.
And Jade has been doing really well. Started off at 80, I think, then 85, and now 90. So small jumps, but consistent, and looks pretty good.
You think it's small jumps, 5 kilos, but in comparison to the percentage of what's on the bar,
That's true.
it's quite considerable as well.
Absolutely, and they've been moving really well.
That's a fight.
I think that was an ideal third attempt.
Yeah, perfect. She'll be well happy with that, I think. And she is. Arms go aloft.
And I think the thing is, well, with third squat, obviously you want to go for as much as you can, but it's also a balance. You don't want to cramp your back for bench or tire yourself out or burn yourself out for deadlifts. It's getting that, thinking about the other lifts ahead as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Come on, Arlene. Arlene's got up for 100 kilo. This is a big milestone, 100 kilograms.
Yeah, there's always a weight that you have in your mind that you want to pass and you want to get.
Yeah.
Sometimes it could be a wee mental barrier for people.
That's it. Let's see how she gets on. Looks good.
That looks very deep
That's
from
it.
here.
That's it. Oh, very good.
She worked hard through there. Deserved that.
Let's see what the judge said.
Yeah,
That was a great attempt selection, you know, just enough. I think 2.5 kilo more might have set her off, but
that's right. But
perfect.
She showed. We're getting a photograph taken there. There we go. That'll be on Britain's Most Wanted tomorrow.
Yeah. Fiona with 112.5 kilograms.
I was kind of surprised when she failed her setting there because her first was so easy.
Yeah. Yeah. And you have some lifters, you know, some can grind really well, others it's just kind of moves easy, but there's not much left. It just depends.
Yeah.
You know.
Sometimes it's just all about mindset.
That's true. See how she gets on.
She maybe went into that one thinking it was going to be easy and took her foot off the pedal. We'll see how she gets on here. She's got that kind of sticky middle point.
Yeah.
Very deep squat, and it
Yeah.
could cost you going too deep as well because you're using a lot of energy to come from too low a position, but sometimes it's better not being flexible enough to get too low because you could cost yourself kilos.
That's it, and it's just kind of getting that balance of you don't want the judges looking at you, but you don't want to waste energy either, and you know you don't want to fire down in and have to lose balance. So it's a lot of things that goes into a squat. We have Molly again with 112.5 kilograms, staying on the bar. Let's go.
No, that was easy.
Oh, very, very easy.
For a third attempt, that was more like an opener.
To be honest with you, yeah, it looked very easy. Very, very easy lift, and that's going to set her up nicely for bench and deadlift. She's a lot of energy left in the tank.
Yep. And it gives you confidence as well.
Absolutely.
If you come off the squats feeling good, it transfers generally to the rest of your lifts.
Absolutely, and just going for tree, setting things up nicely can make the world of difference. Can set the tone for the tired meet.
Here's an Ellie Stewart.
Yep. Let's go.
She was high on her setting, if I recall, right?
And she's actually gone up.
She went up.
She's gone up again. So it was 115 for a second that she missed. 120 now for a third. See how she gets on.
She's maybe using that old equipped adage where more weight will push you down lower.
Well, maybe. Some people swear by that.
Well, the more you put on, certainly it'll crush you to the floor if it's too heavy. I've been in that position a few times.
Absolutely. Let's see where she goes.
Come on now.
Oh.
No.
Not quite there.
No, not there. I think she definitely sunk it lower.
Yeah.
The weight definitely took her down, but it's just a coming back up.
Yeah. She'll be back for bench and she'll smash it.
Yep.
All right. All right. So we're getting into some big weight here now. 130 kilograms for Robin. Let's see how she goes. All right. And our coach shouting cues as well, making sure she's focused.
A good lifting squad for Marvellous Fitness here today.
Absolutely, and makes all the difference having a coach there to handle you on the day and knows you best.
Oh, easy.
Looks good.
She's smiling. She's got a happy face on there. She knows it's good.
Really, really good. Good
Well
lifting there.
a lot of these lifters here today are first timers, have not lifted
know.
before, and even the people that have lifted before have pretty much, some of them not lifted for 2 years.
I know. It's crazy.
Due to lack of competitions and stuff. So there's a bit of nerves, even on the seasoned competitors, because they're keen to get back and show that they're still lifting well, and they're needing qualifying totals for championships next year and stuff. So there's a lot of pressure on people just now.
Absolutely.
And hopefully next year we'll have a full calendar again, and it'll be back to near normal, so people could pick and choose what competitions they like.
Absolutely. With Beatrice here for her third attempt, 132.5 kilograms. Looks good. Looks deep.
She's working hard there. She's working.
Good.
Not just too much.
Just a little bit too much. Very close though.
Yeah.
Very close. Okay though.
She's disappointed, but it was a good attempt, and another day she would have worked through that sticky point.
Absolutely. And it's just kind of taking that, refocusing again, and kind of focusing on bench, you know.
Yep.
So if Tasman here with 160 kilograms. This is a big squat.
Come on, Tasman. Tasman's been part of the Scotland squad for Four Nations a couple of times. We've lifted together. She's always lifted great. They've been a good member of the team. It's good to see her back.
And she's looking calm and confident.
But as I say, that she's got that experience, but she'll be keen to post some good numbers, because it's been a couple of years since she's lifted.
Yeah. Ooh.
Not today.
Not there. Well,
I'm sure she'll be happy with her first 2 attempts. So
absolutely, and
still got a smile on her face.
155 kilogram squat. It's really good going. So we're on to the second
group.
This is
second group. We've got a change of referees coming in there. Quick changeover, and it was a good first flight. Not much drama. A lot of good lifts. A lot of good form and technique, I must say.
Yes.
A lot of first timers you see coming in, that they're kind of all over the place, missing commands and stuff. But I think everybody pretty much listened to commands. There was nothing missed.
Yeah, 100%.
Good lifting. So we're straight into the second flight. There's no hanging around.
Lauren coming up with 70 kilograms.
She's got a few supporters in the crowd.
Absolutely.
Shouting her name.
That's great. Just gives you a bit of confidence and have that wee bit of support there.
Certainly gives you a wee boost.
Let's see how she goes. Looks good.
Very comfortable.
Very, very smooth control opener, and that's great to see.
I think everybody's getting caught out. She was asked to go out the back, and she said and then continued to walk out the front.
I think a lot of people don't realise that you're meant to go around the back.
I done it my first 2 squats as well.
Yeah, it's easy done.
I think it's because when you're entering the platform from the front, automatically you regress through where you came.
Absolutely. Emma has a lot of fans in the crowd here, and again, a good boost. So let's hope she smokes this first one.
She's kept it out in her matching gear.
Yeah. All SPD. Oh, that was well in,
easy.
stepwise.
I thought she was going to move there, but I think she just held on. No.
Oh.
I think she
missed the command.
She missed it. I think I jinxed it. I said, she moved just before the rack command.
It was close, but yeah, she just...
It looked like she got a wee bit excited. She tried to stop herself, but I think she had gone too early.
And it's the question, do you go up or do you keep the number the same and redo it? It's just a tricky one because it went so well. Kirsty here with 87.5 kilograms. Good strong walkout. Looks good. Okay. There we go. Looks good there.
Well in from here.
Yeah. And just setting the hips back before you lift, going down and up, flying it. But yeah, it's hard because you do your squat, you're excited with it, and you just want to rack it, but then have to wait for the commands.
That's right.
Easily can be done. We have Claire with 97.5 kilograms.
Start to get towards 100 again.
Yeah, we're getting close to 100 kilo already, so it's all good. Short walk out, saving energy. Standing up tall. Up. Looks quick. See what the judges say. Okay, 3 white lights.
Yeah, very good.
So we're already at 100 kilograms. And we're halfway through, so it's looking good for openers. Big openers here. And it's interesting seeing the different lifters' approaches. You know, some are really calm and relaxed. Others are very hyped up.
Yep.
Everyone has their own, way of getting themselves ready.
Well,
But that was
nothing.
that's warm-up stuff.
That's your first warm-up. Never mind the first lift.
No wonder she's relaxed.
I think that looks like somebody who's maybe first competition, want to come in, get
Yeah.
a lift in, no pressure on the weight, and
Absolutely.
get a mark on the board. So we might see a decent increase next.
Yeah, that's great to see.
Monica,
Monica also doing 100 kilograms.
again, I was speaking to her earlier saying that her training hasn't really been going to plan, but it normally is. But she's a good lifter on her day, so
Yeah,
this is still a decent weight to lift. So
100%. And it's just with competition prep, some things don't go to plan, but it's all about going and doing it.
three whites, that was easy.
Yeah,
It's good to get the first one on the board.
there you go.
Should be happy with that.
Yeah, and it's very hard. It's not always every lift goes to plan, and it's just kind of adjusting around that in your training, leading up to competition, and
Yeah, you've
being
got
sensible.
to be able to take the good with the bad sometimes and just
yeah.
recognise when it's going for you and when it's not, and adjust accordingly.
110 kilo.
Weight starting to climb up now.
Yeah. And I know for me, I'll never have all 3 lifts going well at the same time. If 2 of them go well, I'm happy. It's good.
That's
But
right.
I'll never have all 3 going well in training.
100% correct.
Okay, let's see.
That looked good from here. See what the referees say.
Okay.
Yep. Martin's called that in depth there.
Okay.
110 stays on the bar.
Still in. 2 white lights.
Yeah,
That's all you need.
that's all you need.
Bar is a little bit.
So we have Megan with 110 kilo. Big opener. And without knee sleeves. It's pretty impressive. Just the belt.
Yeah, unusual these days.
There we
That kinda
go.
strikes me as maybe a new lifter.
Yeah.
And that is a good lift.
Very comfortable.
For Sam Ella.
And I think with knee sleeves, it just depends how you squat. Like some people find a tighter fit for competition works really well.
Yeah.
Other people feel it just kind of hinders them. They like
That's
more
right.
of a larger fit that covers more area space. I know for me, I kind of like a slightly smaller fit when I'm competing. But you have to have no issues with depth.
Well, it could hamper your depth because it binds the back
Yeah.
of your knee. So it could maybe stop you getting
Absolutely.
just a wee bit lower.
So that's it. If you have issues with depth, it's can be tricky. So we have Sam here, and she's squatting 125 kilo for an opener, big opener. And I was speaking to her, and she's saying first competition in almost 2 years, so she's back at it. And she gets coached by Will at ATS.
That looks good. She joined me in the commentary box at the Summer Open for a wee while,
All right.
and she was very good.
113 on the bar. Right height up for Katrina back. Katrina, we're going to bring them back into second.
So we're getting up to 130 kilograms for Katrina here. This is a really big opener. Get into big territory, big squat territory here.
Yeah, this is where we start to see some big lifts coming in.
Yeah. Looks good. Oh,
Easy
that
one.
looked very easy.
Oh yeah.
And the judges are happy with that as well. And, 130 kilo, but just absolutely smoking it.
Very intense. You see some of these new faces coming in and looking at some good weights.
You just see these people out of nowhere just coming in and smoking some crazy numbers. And I'm just so impressed by the newer lifters and their technique. It's very impressive. For me, it takes a long time to nail down technique, but these people are just in the door and their technique is great from the get-go.
Yeah.
I know when I started, my technique was trash, but these people are...
My technique's still trash, and that's 13 years down the line.
Yeah. It's very impressive to see that, because it's very easy to start. You get bad habits. You've Lauren here.
I think there's a lot more awareness and a lot more, if you like, coaches, if you like, that are teaching powerlifting, where maybe 10 years ago or so, you would have to find a specific group of people that were training. But your kind of standard coach these days in any decent gym actually teaches and gives powerlifting related exercises. So there's a lot more awareness that squats, bench, deadlift are your key fundamental lifts for any type of strength and conditioning fitness.
Absolutely.
So it's transferring greatly to people that maybe wouldn't ever compete, but they're doing that in training, so why not?
Absolutely.
And that's a deep squat. She held herself this time.
And
she was nearly away. I think it's so light that she was nearly flew off the stage.
There is a lot more awareness about it, and even if you go into a standard commercial gym, a lot of people are very sensible, squatting to depth, benching properly, and one time you would never really see that, but
no.
A lot of people have a better idea and a lot more informed, and I think a lot of people, I'm alright, thanks. I think a lot of people are getting coaching earlier as well, which is it's good, Just,
right from the get-go, they're being taught how to do it properly.
Yeah, that really helps. So we have Christy here with 92.5 kilo. She did look sure halfway through, but then she grinded it out.
It's like she thought about it. Will I go or will I not?
Yeah,
and then she thought, actually, this is quite easy. Let's stand up.
Yeah, and it's just a little bit of hesitation through, and then and then finish off. And I think with a bit of experience, well, you kind of get better at kind of sticking through it and grind through the lift, and a bit more confidence in yourself as well.
Because sometimes when it does get heavy and hard, you think to yourself, oh, you give up.
Yeah.
But you've got to recognise that you could work through that.
Absolutely. Player with 105 kilo. And it can be tough, squatting with a weight on your back. It is intimidating, for sure.
I think the walkout sometimes beats a person.
Well,
when you unrack that bar, but it feels heavy when you unrack it and step back, straight away you're thinking this is going to be tough. A tip I always give, and I think I said that last time on the stream, when you stand under that bar to unrack it, drive it off the rack like you're doing a lift. And if it comes off that rack lighter than you expect, it just changes your mindset again, and you could step back with a bit of confidence. If you take it out nice and slow, it feels heavy. You're on your back foot straight away.
And sometimes you can tell with a lifter if they're going to make the squat or not just by their walkout, how confident they are, how it looks in their back. Lauren here with 110 kilo, looking confident with her walkout.
It did, aye.
So I think that is half the battle. Looks good depth-wise. That's a really nice, tidy squat. Up and down motion.
Yeah, there was no forward movement with the bar. It was all in a straight line.
Which is, very impressive for a second attempt, and just to keep that technical control up and down, straight bar path. Very impressive.
We'll look out for a setting.
110 kilo.
110. First lift was good.
Yeah. So we'll see how she gets on for the second.
I'm not sure if that was cut a wee bit. We'll see. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Two
didn't
reds.
want to. Wasn't really
You
sure.
don't want to jinx it.
You
but
don't want to jinx it, I don't want to say it.
I think the first one was bang on the money.
Yeah.
So, and she just went slightly higher that time.
And that's it. The heavier weights, you get a wee bit more nervous, a bit anxious.
Yeah.
You want to cut a little bit more.
Particularly if your training's not been going too well. You're kind of a wee bit apprehensive about the heavier weight, where
100%.
you'll never pass a lift if you're high and you stand up with it. You could do that 100 times and you'll fail every one. So you're as well going low. If you fail, the spotters are there to catch you.
100%. Jody with 115 kilograms. Okay. Let's see.
It's a good lift.
2 to 1.
That's 2 to 1. 115.
I think Martin's got his red light stuck.
Yeah.
We'll have to have a word with him about that.
Remember, you only have 1 minute to get your next attempt into the table. Bars loaded.
So we have 115 again for Megan, who is squatting without sleeves, which is really impressive, I find.
Yeah.
So let's see how she goes. There we go. Nice and controlled. See what the judges say. They're happy enough. Yeah, I think throughout that movement, she just looked confident, walked it out.
Yeah.
She took her time before she started the lift. She didn't just go straight into it. She waited, even after she got the command, got herself all settled, then went down, nice and controlled. And I think that's the thing as well, just taking your time. You've a minute, and then you get your command.
Yeah, there's no need to rush. As long as you get out to the platform when you're called, you've got ages then to start your lift.
That's it. So it's Sam again. She's going to 132.5. So I think up 7.5 kilograms. So our opener looked good. So we'll see how the second goes. It's nice and steady with the walkout. Setting her feet.
She stood with it for quite a while on her back there. It takes its toll. She stood up well though.
That's it. I think she was trying to balance herself and get her standing balance.
Yeah, I think she made it tough for herself. She stood there for a while after she got the command.
Yeah.
Before she started, she just obviously didn't feel quite ready.
Yeah.
And there's a balance between you're still holding
Yeah.
a lot of weight there, even though you're not moving.
100%, and it is that balance of getting yourself settled and comfortable, but also not stand there for too long where you're draining yourself.
Yeah.
So we have Katrina with 140 kilograms. Now this is a big squat.
Now, her last lift was impressive.
3 plates in the gym.
Yeah.
So, a big milestone number as well, really. And if it moves on to like her opener, she'll be fine. Oh, there we go. No issues there, really.
Yeah, looked good. Looked good.
Lots left in the tank there. It's going to be interesting to see her third attempt, to see where she's going to go.
Yeah.
Because she's a lot of room there.
Certainly looked very strong.
Yeah. And the spotters and loaders are absolutely flying through it because we're already on thirds, which is crazy.
I know. Seconds with third attempts.
I know.
And the squat is
It's the longest.
it does take the longest.
Yeah, it takes the longest. The most was spotters. Takes the longest to load, adjust the rack heights, all that sort of stuff. So Lauren for her third attempt, and I think she missed her second, so she's going to be retaken.
And the lifters as well. They're not hanging about. They're getting out there. They're doing their lifts.
No messing.
They're no milking it. They're no.
And I know some people have a specific thing they like to do, but I feel like the longer your process and your setup is, the more chance you have of messing something up or doing something wrong. And if you have a process and you do one thing wrong, to either redo it, or then if you have no confidence doing the lift because I missed out on doing this or that. So
yeah. I mean, you've got your routine and you know what you need to do when you go out. But everybody's seen the lifter that takes an edge. They come out, they
time it out.
stand, and they give everything, and
Yeah.
they're virtually doing the lift with a couple of seconds to go. And all it needs is to be told to re-rack because you've not locked your knees out, and then you've no time to redo it.
Emma at 90 kilograms. Easy. And
She certainly got her confidence back after the first one when she re-racked because that was quite comfortable. She had more in the tank there, so it's a pity she didn't get her first lift.
100%. But yeah, but even coming back to the lifter setting up, how many times have you seen at world level that even people have to re-rack the weights because their elbows aren't locked on bench?
Their knees are not locked out on squat. And people maybe not realise as well that if you come out for a squat, for example, your side referees will have their hand up. Once that side referee sees that your body's upright and your knees are locked, their hands will drop, and that gives the centre referee the call that they're ready to go. But if a period of 5 settings goes by and they're not ready to go, the centre referee should be telling them to re-rack rather than holding it for any longer. And that's in fairness to the person, the lifter, as well as the referees. And then once they re-rack, they'll tell them your knees weren't locked and they'll get a chance to go again. So if you've taken too long to set up in the first place, you won't have time.
That's it. And even like small things like you wouldn't even think of, like lifters not standing tall enough or too bent over before they start squatting. Them things you don't think of. And,
I know a lot of people, there's quite a shift. I've seen it quite a lot where the hips will be broken first before the squat to get themselves in the position to activate their glutes. But a lot of people will try and get themselves in that position before they get the squat command. But by doing so, you're leaning forward and your body's not in an upright position, so you won't be called to start.
It's just an easy mistake to make. We've cleared 110 kilo. Yeah, it's in.
And I was watching the World Equip there, and a few lifters were called back into the rack for not being upright.
Yeah.
Unlucky, that's a no lift 2 to 1. Equip's a wee bit different. With the suit on and the weight on your back and stuff, it can be difficult sometimes to keep yourself upright. You've got a heavier weight on your back, and the tendency is you lean forward to be able to support the weight.
It's interesting as well with the amount of weight they have on the back, and even if you see some of the Eastern Bloc lifters, and they have that real close, narrow position on
with
squat
hands,
with their hands, really upright.
You've got to have really good flexibility for that. It puts so much pressure on the shoulders and their elbow joints.
I think almost push their arms into the bar, push up with the biceps.
Let me see if she gets her start. She
Monica,
called on deck. That looked better.
Yeah.
Let's hope that
110.
she gets some white lights for that. Yeah, 3 whites. Well done.
Excellent.
And that was it was a deeper squat, and it was actually easier. So it shows if your position's correct, it can make the lift so much easier.
And it's just getting that bit of confidence that you know you're well able to take that weight and get down to depth, and that could be all the difference. We have Jody with 117.5 kilograms. This is their third attempt. Up 2.5 from a second. So it's a good call. You know, especially if it's a bit of a tougher attempt. Going up 2.5 make all the difference.
2.5's fine.
That's grand, you know. You can always try it, see how you get on.
Anything to add on is good.
That's it.
It's about knowing your limits. You could think, oh, why 2.5? We'll go 5. But if you know you're going to fail 5, what's the point?
Yes, exactly.
And that is bang on the money.
Let's see.
There is no more in that strength-wise, so let's hope she gets it. Yeah, well done.
That's a good call.
But as you say, she could have went up 5 there and she wouldn't have got it.
Yeah.
So that was bang on.
Just an extra 2.5 kilo on her toll. And if she does that across the board with squat, bench and deadlift, that's 7.5 kilograms.
Yeah, that could be the difference.
It adds up. With Lauren with 120 kilo. Big weight. So Lauren's first two are pretty easy.
Yeah, that's right.
So we'll see how she gets on with her third. Okay, just getting her balance.
Concentration.
That's it.
Again, very up
There
there.
we go.
Very strong in the quads.
Very strong, yeah.
She's happy.
Great going there. 3 for 3 on squats. Great position to be in.
A lot of good lifts. There's not been many failed.
Absolutely. Do you know, getting all your squat attempts, it's not an easy feat. But a lot of lifters making them, doing them. Megan with 120. So we'd see how she gets on with her third lift. This is 5 kilo up from her second. Looks good depth-wise.
Yeah, it looked good from here.
Let's see what the judges say.
That was good. Yeah, it's hard to call from here. I've called a couple of wrong decisions.
I know.
They've been pretty good, I think, overall. But you didn't want to do anything with the service and calling it one way or another. But we're not in the best position to see from here.
Absolutely. But no, good third attempt. We have Katrina with 152.5 kilograms. And this is a real big spot. A lot of weight. So Katrina looking calm, cool, collected.
Yeah, she was good on her settings.
Yeah. And just getting that focus. Doing everything the same. Treating the weight the same. Just concentrating. Not getting too excited.
This is a heavy weight. William Murray nearly falling over there on the side. He's not even got a weight in his hands. Push it, work it through.
Oh.
I think she lost a wee position at the bottom, but it's very good.
But there was a lot of power at the end of it.
Yeah, their strength more than satisfied that one.
That's the flight done.
That's the flight's done. That was actually pretty quick. Quite an enjoyable, interesting first half. We'll have a break for 10 minutes. We'll come back for the bench and be refreshed. I hope you join us back after that. Thank you.
Right, thank you. So we're back again, and back to bench, to flight 1. And for bench, we have Jade here, starting off with 40 kilo. It's myself, Aaron Moore, and Bernie McGurk here, giving a bit of commentary. They're trying their best anyway. So we'll see how Jade gets on.
I'm looking at our camera angle here. I think Martin's going to sneak over in the way a wee bit more. I might try and adjust that.
Yeah, he's kind of... We're just adjusting the camera angle so it's a wee bit of a better view.
Yeah, Martin was sneaking in there to try and get a better position for seeing the
Exactly.
left. But it's kind of blocked our view a wee bit, but I think that's a bit better for everybody who could see it. I think the squat was a wee bit tight as well for viewing.
Yeah. Hopefully that's a wee bit better. Let us know if there's any problem. Right. $50 kilo for Fiona. That's very good. Very controlled. No issues there, really. So you'll see some lifters, they'll ask for a handout. Other lifters will actually unrack the bar themselves. It's just a bit of a mix, really. It depends what works best for you. I think I started a while ago, a few years ago, to self-unrack. I find it takes another variable out. You know, it's the same every time for me. But other lifters feel that takes away from their energy, so it just depends.
Yeah, it's kind of personal preference, and as well, if you're in the gym training on your own, and you're used to a self handout, you might be wanting to do that in a competition just so that you're not changing it.
Absolutely, and I think the main thing is it's just being clear with whoever's giving the handout how you want it every single time. The crystal here at 50 kilo looks easy. I think it's important to go up, explain how you want it. Just because the spotters are not going to remember, and just explain every time exactly how you like it. Do you want to unrack to 3, 2, 1? Leave it to me. Them sort of things, just to make it a bit easier and
that's right.
The same every single time.
And it's important as well to make sure the spotter's aware, or the centre, if you're wanting a centre lift out, how you want it and on what your command is. And some people like to take it further over the middle of their chest, and if you could get your handout correct, it could make a difference.
Just taking a couple of seconds to go through that makes all the difference. Molly here with 50 kilograms. That's it. And looks pretty straightforward there.
Good lift.
And sometimes you'll see lifters, they might take a wee bit longer to get that press command, just because they mightn't keep the bar still on their chest. Might take a bit longer because they use the sinking technique. So it's all about keeping it still on the chest.
Yeah. I mean, there's no rule on how long it's to be paused on your chest. It's if the bar is motionless. So the quicker you could get that bar to a standstill, the quicker, technically, you should get the press command.
That's it. And, it might take a bit longer if you use it to sink it in, because it'll keep going down into your chest. It really needs to be motionless, like Bernie says.
Right.
So we have 52.5 kilograms here. There we go. 3 white lights. No problem there.
I keep adjusting this camera, sorry everyone, because Martin seems to be sneaking further round and round. When I'm refereeing a bench, I don't like to be a side referee from this angle. I prefer to be from the foot of the bench.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah, because you could see the feet.
Make sure they're flat.
And make sure the bum's flat a bit easier than you can for the side. Because it's at the top end, the uprights are in the way. You can't see the bar on the chest as well, and it kind of obscures the arms when they press out.
That's it. Cheryl, 52.5 kilo. Oh, it looks pretty tough. I'm not sure if that was strength or if she lost a wee bit of positioning. But it's 3 white lights.
It's there,
on the board.
As long as you get that, that's all you need.
That's it. And bench, it can be a bit of a tricky one because, you know, if you go a little bit forward, a little bit back, it can pull you out of position, and it's kind of quite hard to recover from that, especially at the heavier loads, the heavier ends.
Yeah.
It's a bit less forgiving. So Maureen with 55 kilograms.
She's Maureen. She's competing classic. She's just back
Right.
from winning the World Equipped Bench Championships.
Wow.
Masters 2, I believe, and the same with Full Power there last month. So
Yep.
she's had a very successful few weeks, and I think she dropped down a weight category as well
Right.
this year. So she's been working hard on her training and her nutrition. So
Good.
it's all paid off.
Look at that. No problems there.
That's
And sometimes you'll see lifters that actually they like wearing a belt and they feel like keeps them up, gives them a bit more support.
Yeah, I've always been a belt wearer for bench, but recently I've kind of changed it, and
Yeah.
I'm not using a belt to bench classic now.
Yeah.
I just feeling that I could get my position a bit better, and I'm not a massive archer, but it's just helping me get that wee bit higher up.
Yeah.
As long as you could keep that firmness in your body, which
That's
the
it.
bench helps you do.
100%.
Equip's a different story. You've got a bench shirt to keep in place, where the
Yeah.
belt's kind of a necessity, or the shirt slides up and chokes you.
Yeah. You don't want that. Robin with 55 kilograms. Oh.
There's a wee bit of double movement there, so I don't think she'll be
she got
getting
it
that
up.
one. I think you seen it was like a start and then a change of mind and then away
Yeah.
again. So downward movement, that was called on, which would be a blue.
And it could be quite tough because you bring the bar down to your chest, and if you use a little bit of tightness on your chest or your forearm to come forward, and
Yeah.
it's quite hard. You lose that tightness, so you have to come back. We have Arlene here, open up with 60 kilograms.
She had great squats,
Yeah.
3 out of 3, and they look very impressive.
Arlene, an experienced lifter.
And I don't expect anything different here.
No.
I think we'll see a nice, comfortable opener.
Nice.
Yeah, good lift.
And the bar very still on her chest, so she got a press command.
Yeah, 3 white lights, good lift.
62.5, followed by Tasman.
So we have Beatrice coming up again. Beatrice and Arlene both trying out results in Aberdeen, right, Train? So good to see results team down here representing.
Good.
So Beatrice, 62.5 kilo opener for bench, a big opener. And again, like squats, bench also, some people like to wear heels, other people like to wear flats. And just depends.
I think flats could be quite good on bench, I think, because you could get I think you could almost get a better push into the floor. Because it's generally your toes you're pushing from when you're driving from bench, and if your heels are up, sometimes that could cause you to slide a bit.
I think that's it. I prefer flats myself. I just feel a bit more grounded. But yeah, it's the footwear. Sometimes if you're wearing the likes of Converse and they're a bit more worn, the heel can come up, and it's hard to get the judges give you a start command because obviously it looks like your heels are up.
Yeah.
Just getting a nice flat shoe, and there.
You've got to be careful with that as well when you're setting up, that your heels remain flat.
Yeah.
You could see Tasman looks like she's wearing deadlift shoes.
Slippers, yeah.
And it's got quite a rounded heel on it. So, again, as you said, it could give the illusion that your heel's not flat on the floor.
Yeah.
And if you've got that wee bit of heel up, you'll not get the start command.
Yeah.
Or you could be called on it.
This is a big opener, 100 kilo. Really impressive here.
Yeah, good lifting.
So we're waiting on the refs.
Yeah, good lift. 100 kilos. And you could see that it took a wee while for the start command to come. And I think that was probably down to the feet not being flat.
Right.
As I said earlier in the squat, the side referees also in bench will have their hands raised. And once the lifter has got everything in position, their feet flat, bum on the bench, shoulders down, elbows locked, then they'll drop their hand, and that gives the centre referee the signal for a start. But interesting to know that, again, I don't know if everybody knows this, but you've got two side referees, both with their hands raised. If one of these side referees drops their hand but the other keeps it aloft, but the centre ref thinks that they're in position, they could give that start command on the majority.
Okay.
So, but by giving it on the majority, it means that automatically one of the refs with their hand raised are going to fail it because they've not been ready to go.
Oh, right.
So they could give it.
It's a bit of double-edged sword.
They could give it, but there'd be automatically one red down.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
So sometimes, do you do the lifter a service and say rack,
Tough call.
and then tell them what they've done wrong, and then hopefully they'll get the three referees to give them the start signal.
And it's a tough one because if you're holding that weight out for a long time, especially on bench, I'd say even more than squat, it can just really drain you.
Yeah.
It's just getting everything sorted.
And if you're in a tight position, you've got your arch set up, your shoulders are pinned, then the longer you hold it, you can't hold that position.
No, your hips, your back all gets cramped up. Crystal here with 52.5 kilograms. Okay. Good.
Yeah, a wee bit slow off the chest, but once it got moving, it was fast.
Yeah.
And I think that's down to a lot of the time the length of the hold before you go, because if you're not training that and you're not used to it, it could be a bit of a shock to the system that you're holding that bar there for a second or so.
Absolutely. And I know some benchers. You see Jen Thompson in the States. She is a big believer in doing heavy holdouts on bench.
Yeah.
And, you know, and
just so you're used to holding a heavier weight.
I think there might be something said for it. Just getting the CNS.
There is.
Kind of used to it. Confidence. All that sort of stuff. Molly here, 52.5 kilograms here. That's really good. Nice and still on the chest.
It's difficult to fit everything in training. There's so much different techniques and different training regimes and ideas, and lots of good ones. But you can't do them all.
No.
You can't do them all. A lot of people are limited by maybe an hour or two, 3 times a week, for example.
Yeah.
So you're doing the main lifts that you need, the main training that you need. And to fit anything extra in, it could be tough.
It is. And I think the more you know, the harder it is, because you're like, oh, well, I have this weakness or that, and it's just find the time, but also it's not burning yourself out either.
That's it.
So 55 kilograms on the bar. Nelly. You can see her here just really digging her shoulders and traps into the bench. I kind of set up similar that way. I kind of like that setup. Works for me.
It's important once you're in that position that you maintain that throughout the lift. As soon as you lose that, then your bench could go awry quite easily. But that was excellently done.
And I like that bench because you can really sink your shoulders into the pad, because it's like a leather and then there's a foam underneath, and you can really sink it in. With some benches, they're quite hard, and it's hard to sink the shoulders in.
Yeah, you feel like you're just on a piece of wood.
Yeah, that one's quite good. Cheryl here, 55 kilograms. Cheryl is a 47 kilo lifter and benching 55 kilograms. This is really impressive.
It was good lifting, well above body weight.
Up.
I don't think it's there though.
Okay.
Not this time.
And again, the same with squat, with bench. Some people are a big believer in just going nice and quick, so you don't have to hold that weight for too long getting it down.
Yeah.
Other people like to have a bit of a control. Some people even looks like their tempo in it. And again, it's just whatever works for you, and just trial and error, really. Yeah,
that's right. The quicker you take the bench down, the tendency is that it'll hover about a bit more on your chest because it's unstable.
Yeah.
And you could be in the position on your chest for longer before you get the press command.
It's really easy to miss that groove, you know, especially if you're going down with speed. Fiona, 55 kilograms. Push.
Not today.
It's not there.
We've seen a couple of benches that are just a wee bit too heavy. Starting to push it a wee bit now.
And it can be hard as well, especially if you're more of a wider grip bencher. You know, you could do for example, 55 kilograms can fly up, but 57.5 kilograms, you might just lose it. And it's just,
Yeah, yeah.
you can't grind out a wider grip as much, it seems. But with the narrow
Yeah, that's
grip,
right. You
it
could,
seems to
you could
get-
kind of push it a bit more.
Yeah. So Robin with 55 kilo again on the bar.
Again, she was good in her squats. Oh, that was easy.
All right, look good.
Good luck.
Now let me
We'll
see.
see if the whites. Oh, she's two reds.
I think that she pushed the weight up and then it went down again.
I wasn't sure from here. It was hard to see, but I thought there was kind of a bit of movement there. But
I think it was up and down movement before she even started it. And it's just,
she's maybe been trying to go before the command and stopped herself. And
Yeah.
but by that time, you've moved.
yeah, just a tough one.
Or it was yellows. It could have been for feet up or bum off the bench.
Yeah, could be a lot of things. M1 record. Let's go, Arlene.
So this is for a
The Scottish M1 record right
Scottish Masters 1 record. And what bodyweight class is she in?
here.
Is she 57?
57 kilograms.
Kilo class.
62.5 kilograms.
62
Let's go,
kilo
Arlene.
bench. Come on then. Big cheer for her. She's been solid so far through the competition.
Very consistent lifter, Arlene. And let's see how she
Come on
goes.
now, let's go.
Push.
She's got that. Comfortable. That was actually easier than an opener. I thought her opener was a wee bit sticky at the bottom, but she fired through that easily. Good lift.
I was speaking to Arlene before this, and she was saying, I think she normally competes in the 52 kilogram class, but she said, you know, she just wants to have a good comp. She doesn't want to bother putting in this time, and she'll go a bit heavier. But actually, she's only weighing in at 54.5,
Right.
and that's a 57.5 kilo record.
So it's obviously probably a good, comfortable weight for her.
Yeah, easy, and there's a lot of room to grow. She wants to go up. Maureen with 62.5 kilograms here.
Her last lift was comfortable.
It's quite a good crowd here as well. There's a good atmosphere.
It's really good. I think there's
Yeah,
a lot of the
nice
guys
gym.
have remained that lifted this morning as well. So we've got people in the hall. And it's good that we've actually had two separate weigh-ins today. It's been tricky in the past. And it's not ideal to come at 8 o'clock in the morning to weigh in when you're lifting in the afternoon.
Yeah.
But numbers of referees, volunteers,
Yeah.
weigh-in people, it's tricky to facilitate two different weigh-ins.
Yeah.
But today we've managed that quite well. I think we did it the last one as well. So good for the lifters. Guys are turning up a wee bit later and not have to sit about all day, which helps their lifting in the end as well.
Absolutely.
And
It's
the bar bodies.
with Beatrice with 67.5 kilograms. And this is up 5 kilograms, so it's a big jump for bench.
Yep.
That's a big jump.
Particularly at that light body weight.
Yeah. So let's see how she goes. She must be pretty confident about this. Let's see. Come on, Beatrice.
That looks good.
Oh, looks good.
Yeah, it was good from here. Hopefully.
Yes,
Yep.
that was
Three
a good
whites.
call.
Well done.
Very impressive, and that's a big bench.
Nearly tripped over the photographer sitting there. Rubbing his knee.
We have. You okay? I'm just looking at Aaron Robinson. He looks a bit shook at the moment. He's here taking a lot of pictures and videos of the lifters, and they come out great.
Nasties.
Let's go. Tasman, 105 kilograms.
105 kilos for Tasman. Huge bench press. She's clearly back to the strength she was at before.
Yeah.
Looking at her bench anyway. So hoping that we could see a 200 deadlift from her later.
And it's really impressive. It's not that often you see a big deadlifter and a big bencher, because usually if you're a big deadlifter, you have them long arms.
And it doesn't match with with a bench. So
But,
impressive.
Very impressive on boat lifts. Let's see how she goes to this one.
Come on then, Tasman.
Nice.
Yeah, nice. I think for me, I would be sticking 2.5 on that.
Yeah,
I think 5 might be a wee bit tight.
absolutely.
It's a great lift though. Great lift.
So we'll see where she goes. Again, can make all the difference. 2.5 kilo. It's a hard one to judge.
Yeah.
And
So have we got into it? Has everybody got a lift? Or is there somebody failed too? I think I can see two
I think
legs there.
there's 2 lifters. 1, 2,
I think
3, 3 lifters that have missed their second.
but I think somebody has missed first and second. If I'm looking at the screen, the screen's a wee bit far away from me
you're
from
right,
here.
Yeah.
So
I think it's Robin.
I've got another
Missed her
screen
first
behind me.
and second, so she really needs to get her third. So we'll all have a big.
Yeah,
support for
Robin Gorman's failed their first 2 benches, so it'll be a big bit of
It's a
support
tough
for her.
position to be in,
Yeah.
but hopefully she can pull back.
Good effort there. Kind of hovered off the chest a wee bit. It moved, but just a bit too heavy.
That's it. Good. She gave it a go. Cheryl coming up. Now she missed her second, so she's retaken 55 again. See how she gets on. No harm. Trying it again.
Yeah.
See how we get on. Maybe a few little technical changes. We'll see. So let's go. Let's go, Cheryl. And there's actually quite a lot of people doing 55 kilo for the thirds.
Yeah. Again, a heavy lift for the body weight.
5 people. Okay, come on. Let's see if she can get a third. Get for a third.
Very fast down the chest.
Just.
But as you say, that was a lot faster down the chest, that one there, and there was no movement at all on the press command. So you're sacrificing tightness in the body by taking it fast. So I think there was a wee bit of that, probably because it was heavy, the second lift.
Yeah.
She's tried to speed it up a bit.
Fair enough. It's fair enough. But yeah,
You've got to try something different if you think it's out with your range on the day.
Absolutely. So we have Fiona, who also missed this on her second. So she's come back and trying to do it on her third. Wishing her all the best. See how it goes.
It's kind of similar on her squats. Openers were flying, easy.
Yeah.
And then the settings were a bit tricky.
Just can be hard to gauge sometimes. Sometimes
Yeah.
it's hard to grind through the lifts. This takes a bit of experience and time. Right, let's see. Oh, okay.
I think she lost her line there. Yeah, well done, spotters. Well caught.
Really good job. The spotters came in early and great job. But sometimes you could just misgroove it and go completely back. And,
Yeah, I think she tried to push back just a wee bit too far
Yeah.
and just lost it.
55 for Crystal.
Crystal in.
So Crystal got 52.5 for her second. So she's going up 2.5 kilo. Let's see how it goes. And again, it's a milestone as well, getting that yellow plate with the collar on and big plate. So let's see how she goes. Taking her time to set up, making sure all's locked in.
Chest high. Nice control down to your chest. Just a wee bit too heavy.
That's it. And, very sensible. Went up 2.5 kilo. That's all you can do. And if you don't get it,
That's right. That's right. If you go up 2.5 and you fail it on strength, there's nowhere you could have went in between.
Absolutely.
So it's a totally sensible lift.
But like you were saying earlier, you go up 5 kilo and you're wondering what if, But 2.5, sensible. Molly now also doing 55 kilo, hit 52.5 for a second. Again, 2.5 kilo can make all the difference in bench. Let's see how she goes. Very good. That looked
comfortable.
That's strong, really good third.
Quite easy. Her first bench, remember, looked like a warm-up lift. So I think she was always destined for 3.
Absolutely. So we have Robin here.
Come on then.
She needs to get this to stay in the competition.
Let's go. You need this. This is to make sure she gets a total.
Unfortunately, if you miss an attempt, you can't go down for your next attempt. It has to be the same or above. So she's going back.
It's a tricky position that most powerlifters, unfortunately, in their time have been faced with.
She needs to stay cool, calm, collected.
That's right. Don't panic. The strength will be there.
Let's go. Oh, wow.
I mean, I can't remember exactly why she failed the first 2, but I find it difficult to believe there was a failure there.
Yeah.
Because that was so easy.
That's brilliant. And it takes a certain type of, confidence and,
mindset's got to be there.
Mindset, really, to come back if you don't hit it, you're out of the competition.
That's it.
But if you get it, you're back in, and fair play to her. She came in and she stayed focused.
Yeah, that was good.
That's really good.
It's good to see. You didn't want to see anybody bombing out in a competition.
No.
So everybody's safe so far. We've got everybody in.
Yeah,
And that
absolutely.
generally means that people are good. There's not, it's very rare that you'll see a bomb on deadlift, particularly in classic.
Very sensible with the attempts here. And Ellie, 60 kilo. See how she goes. So that was
It's a wee bit too heavy.
5 kilo per second. So a bit of a bigger jump for bench.
Yeah.
Hindsight.
Yeah, that's right. Sometimes you have that 5 kilo mentality and that you don't want to just go up 2.5, but
Yeah.
2.5 can make a difference. As you
Absolutely.
say, 3 2.5s on your lifts.
But then, 60 kilo might be a certain milestone, a number, and like 57 and a half.
Particularly if she's maybe done the same weight a few times, and that's a PB. You have nothing to lose, just go for it.
Absolutely. Arlene with 65 kilograms. Now this is a pretty big milestone. The big blue plate on the collar, and no joke. She's setting up here.
She was very strong in her last lift as well.
And she's very consistent with her training, how she does in the competition day. Very consistent. Just sticking at it. And
She got a very quick press command.
look at that.
Good lift.
Well done, Arlene.
She got that press command very quickly there, so it was in her benefit, which was good. But if the bar's stopped and it's motionless, there's no time limit. As I said, you could get her command straight away.
That's it. And, she was really on the money with that attempt. That was really good. And, so we have Beatrice here, and she is doing 70 kilograms, up 2.5. So her second attempt looked good. Up 2.5, 70 kilo, again, is a big bench. Let's see how she goes.
Looks strong, keep pressing through. That looks good.
And
the referee agree, good lift.
Lost a little bit of tightness off the chest, but really pushed through and, smoked it. So it's a really good number for a third attempt. Good attempt section. Oh.
Yep, I don't know if it was announced about a British record, but we can't break British records today. There's got to be a Scottish championship
record
for that.
anyway.
That'll be a Scottish record.
So, again, very impressive. It's just staying focused, concentrated, not getting too excited for bench especially.
Yeah, that's right.
You just want to time it well, not lose any tightness off the chest, stay focused, not lose your line.
That's right.
Set up properly. Good strong run rack. That's the start command. Push.
Yeah, looks like she's got that.
Ooh.
I don't know if there's any stop at the top there, but I think she's fine.
Excellent.
Yeah, good
That's
lift.
fine. Really, really good. Scottish record it is.
Yeah, good lift.
That's a Scottish record for Maureen. Well done.
Yeah, just touching back on what we'd said about Scottish and British records. It was agreed a few years ago that British records could only be broken at national championships, i.e. Scottish championships, English championships and so on, or indeed British championships. I think that was to take away inconsistencies from regional competitions where the refereeing standard might not have been as good as before. So whether I agree with that or not, we'll see. But I suppose it sets a standard. It's like world records. You can only break world records at Worlds and European Championships.
Yeah.
Which I suppose you could beat a British and not get it, but
Yeah.
the British record could sometimes be higher than the world record,
Absolutely.
which I have seen.
Yeah, it can happen. So
here-
Tasman is going for a record as well because it's 108 kilograms.
108. This will
So
be
it's
another
an odd number
Scottish
like that, it
record,
has to be a record.
and this will be a Scottish
So this will
Open
be a
record.
Scottish record again. You know.
Scottish Open record. Come on then, Tasman, let's go. Martin's edging over again in the way. Not today, bit too heavy.
So with certain records, you can go for odd numbers. So normally you'd go for 107.5, but you could chip it.
Yep.
And that's the advantage really of getting a record. You can chip the number so the other lifter has to go 2.5 kilo over.
Yeah, that's right. So you could beat somebody by half a kilo
Yeah.
over squats and bench press.
Yeah.
And when it comes down to the deadlift, then that person, as you say, have got to go 2.5 more.
Yeah.
And you could, as you chip it and beat them by half a kilo because you
Yeah.
broke a record.
Yeah. So I think the main thing is if you're in the position to hit a record, always chip it because it
Yeah.
gives you a really good advantage.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Right, so we're into the second flight. We have Emma, who's doing 32.5 kilograms.
Well, I could see that Linda Banks has taken over bench press referee, and she's went to the bottom side of the bench, which I'm glad to say is not going to
Absolutely.
obscure our camera angle.
And the
So,
viewers will be happy to see as well. So it's a bit of a better position.
and I could maybe see a wee bit better as well because I was sitting right behind them.
Yep. So again, yeah, just like Bernie says, it depends on the ref and their style. You know, some people like from one angle, another, just depends.
I think
Again, we're lucky with this angle because we can see a bit better.
I'm going to move the camera back to
Yeah,
where the original
there.
position because it's actually a wee bit better where it was.
There we go.
It's
That's
a
the
better
one.
position if the referee
That looks
doesn't
business, yeah.
sit in the way.
Aye, that's the one.
There you go.
That's a really good
I'll just tilt it. There you go. Hopefully that's fine for everybody.
spot on. Let's see how Emma does.
Very high on the chest.
Yeah.
But it's a lightweight, so it was nice and easy. I think with a wee bit of experience, a wee bit lower down the chest,
Yeah.
getting the elbows tucked in a wee bit,
And
she'll
just kinda
probably
get-
find a lot more power.
And getting that a bit lower down so you get a higher point and a bit
Yeah.
of a less range of motion
Yeah.
as well. It's all that gets involved. And sometimes as well you'll see with lifters, sometimes like even their feet, a wider stance, a wider
Yeah.
base support,
Yeah,
some like narrower, just under the bench.
Yeah, that's right.
Just where you can drive and get the most, I suppose,
the
support
most
from.
power, yeah.
Yeah, I myself like it close, under the bench really.
I'm kind of the same myself. I'm,
Yeah.
I'm never too wide. I vary it at times, but it never really goes out wide.
I find if you're too wide, for me, I have more of a tendency of lifting my bum up.
Yeah,
But where if it's
yeah.
tight and controlling under, it's a bit better. Clear here, 45 kilo.
See the much lower bar position when she takes it to her chest. You could see with the SPD logo on her singlet, it was well below that.
Yeah.
And your last lifter was sitting way above, mainly really across the collarbone nearly.
You can just take that little bit off the range of motion, and you know, when you get to heavier weights, that makes all the difference.
Yep.
Lauren here with 45 kilograms.
She's got a good setup, good arcs,
Yep.
chest's high. A narrower grip, so a bit wider on the grip, and she'll probably find I think she's not getting the command. I could see that her left heel
Is that her
was off the
heel?
floor.
And I just mentioned here about the
It's-
Converse, they
Yeah,
can kind
and
of roll up a
she's
bit.
moved her feet further down. You
Yeah.
can see her feet now flat.
And it's a flat shoe, it's good, but sometimes when they're
Yeah.
worn in, the heels can kind of come off, and it can give the judges the illusion that the heels are up. So it can be a tough
A
one.
lifter could have a tendency, because these days, particularly in bench, the pressure to get an arch and push yourself so high,
Yeah.
it tends to bring your feet further back to push yourself in position.
That's
But
it.
by doing that, you're bringing your heels off the floor,
Yeah.
and you're not going to get a start command. So she was told to re-rack and go again.
Yeah.
And like the earlier conversation, if she had mucked around and got to the platform and her 1 minute ended, she would have
Yeah.
failed the lift.
Yeah, and she just got that time to reposition, and you
Yeah.
know, it can happen to any of us. So yeah, makes all the odds.
Every
50
lifter's
kilo.
been pretty quick today, though.
Yeah, there's no messing.
There's another
So
good
this
setup and a good high
stance
arch.
position here is similar to what I do, and I find it quite useful. And good
That
arch
was a
here,
very good bench.
good position. Yeah, feet
Pretty
back
much
out.
perfect technique there, to be fair. Good setup, very strong. She never moved.
Solid. And I find if your feet are back like that and in tightly, it's less likely for your bump to rise up.
Yeah.
But again, that's just for me. It could be different for someone else. Monica here,
Monica out.
52.5.
To 2.5. She pulled out the bag her third squat after failing her second on depth, which was good.
It's great to come back.
Yep. Feet are flat, looks like. Her heels are up a wee bit. She might not get the command. Surprised she got that. Her heels are off the... No, she's getting
the
re-racked.
heels.
No, they're still up. He should be telling her. He's gave her the command, but I think in fairness I would have got that re-racked because I think she might get called. No, she got that. Quite surprised there, to be honest.
Just the position.
Her feet were well up off the floor. Her heels,
yeah.
so she kind of got away with that one a wee bit. I hate to be careful on that, but
Have to be
the
careful.
weight was easy enough. It wouldn't have been a problem if she went flat.
And I think it was just in a bit too close and her feet were too turned out.
Yeah. She turned it in even further, and I think her heels came up even more.
Yeah.
But you've got to be careful with that. As I said, by forcing yourself into a good arched starting position, you could put your heels up, which will cost you a lift.
Lauren here with 55 kilo, and Lauren is delighted just to be here. She's see some lifters getting intense, roaring and shouting. Lauren's just pretty chill and having a good time, and it's good to see. Good on her.
Very long arms, narrow grip, much further to bench.
Hard for bench, good for deadlifts.
Yeah. Good lift.
There we go. There we go. No
It's
problem.
a big distance away from your 1 inch benchers, you see, with their massive arch and their
Absolutely.
wide grip.
And some people, they don't like the big arches and stuff on bench. And, you know, if it's in the rules and you get a bigger total, I'm all for it, you know.
That's it. It's in the rules. You play to the strengths.
Absolutely.
Part of the game is being strong.
Yeah.
The stronger you are, the more you'll lift. And also part of the game is technique
And leverages.
and leverage. If you could work with the levers you've got and the technique you've got to your advantage, by all means use it.
Absolutely. Because it's very rare you'll have someone that's built for all the lifts.
Exactly.
Sam here, 57.5.
And as we said earlier,
Nice.
that person who's got the bench that's very good and they've got the short movement,
Yep.
they'll probably not be as good at deadlift.
Exactly.
And vice versa. So your long arm person will probably snatch back a bit more kilos on the deadlifts.
Yeah. Because it's going to be very hard to get down to the bar, and if you have T-Rex arms, you know, it's a long, long way up for deadlifts,
Yeah,
but a
that's
short
right.
way for bench. Which is the nice thing, I suppose, about powerlifting. You can play to people's strong points, you know, depends whatever way you're built.
Yep.
Jody with 60 kilo.
Everybody's got their favourite lifts.
Absolutely.
Again, a narrow grip and
Yeah. And, you know, as I
a
said,
fair
like,
distance to press. A
you see
good lift though.
the narrow grip, it's a lot of the tricep, but you can grind a lot more. It's where if you have that wider grip, it's
I
a bit...
think a lot of newcomers, particularly, narrow grip a lot more because it feels more comfortable, as you say. Natural power's more there,
Yeah.
where the wide grip, if you've not been training for very long, takes a lot kind of muscle fibres in
does.
play from the chest and the shoulders. And if you've not been working that too much, you're kind of recruiting a lot that you're not used to.
And it takes some time to work out to that grip if your chest isn't, you know, adapted to it. Megan with 62.5. But yeah, it just takes time to, you know, work your way out, and it's gradually working your way out to whatever's the best for you. But yeah, I know when I started, I was the same, just narrow grip, but kind of working my way out now.
I don't go maximum grip. I'm not too far away, middle finger I suppose on the bar, but that extra half-inch wider just doesn't suit me. It just I'll lose kilos, I'll lose tightness, and it doesn't feel as good. So you've got to find your optimum position.
Absolutely. Katrina at 65 kilo. Absolutely, and it's just getting what works for you, I suppose. Here now. So quite a narrow grip as well.
Yep. Low in the chest.
There we go.
Elbows were
Lots
tucked in.
lots of
That was
power
power.
there.
Yeah, that was strong.
A lot of power there. And you see, even with some lifters that are very experienced, some of the big benchers, the big people, they like the narrow grip because they really hammer, really have strong triceps and can really push through that.
Yeah.
Just, interesting to see. Joanne with 95 kilograms, and she's using boards as well.
Yeah. Boards are allowed. There's a variety of different sizes of boards that you could select. That's for your shorter-legged people or somebody that just wants a bit higher feet position to drive better. It's perfectly in the rules.
Absolutely.
But what you've got to do is make sure that your feet are on the blocks and not hanging off it. If they're hanging off it, you could you won't get a start command.
Be in some trouble. Here we go. Let's see.
Easy bench there.
There we go. And that was quite nice, quite controlled.
Yep.
Real still in the chest. And again, if you control it like that, if you keep still in the chest, more likely you get a quicker press command.
Yeah.
But it can be hard.
I'm just trying to think there. I've never seen Jo squatting, but she must be doing bench only.
I think so. I think I heard her say that today.
Yeah.
And it's not going to be able to get to the platform for this, so we're going to time out 11
So-
minutes.
I think
Bars loaded.
And I think she might be after a record as well. I think I heard her.
maybe yeah, she's coming in just
up.
to do a bench.
100 kilo for a second attempt put in. So
And we do allow that in their competitions. If you want to be a bench only athlete, you could come and do that. There's a variety of different reasons why people either don't choose to do the 3 lifts on one day, or they may just be a bench specialist and that's all they do. So they could join in and enter any competition.
absolutely. And if bench is really your thing, it's sometimes a good idea just to do bench because, after a heavy squat, it can really tax you.
Yep.
Sore in the elbows, sometimes the back. And then you have to try to press as well with sore elbows and, a cramped back. So
Yeah.
it can be a bit better that way. Do bench only.
And for record purposes, there's 2 different bench records. You've got a bench all contest record, which is if you're only doing bench, you could take that record, but you wouldn't take the 3 lift record for bench. That's got to be done in a competition that you've achieved at least 1 lift in all 3.
And it's just for that reason because, it is kind of harder.
It's more taxing,
Yeah, it is taxing more so to bench after you squat.
Particularly if you're somebody that likes getting your position in a big arch
Yep.
and you're moving your back, you could tax and fry your back a bit after squat, so you may not be able to hold that position as easily.
And sometimes you'll see with the bigger benchers, they might do a conservative third because they know they can pick up a lot of ground on their bench. So conservative third on their squat just to pick up a wee bit more ground on their bench. We have Claire with 50 kilograms. Looks pretty easy.
Yeah,
here.
that looked an easy lift there.
No doubt.
Yeah, see white lights, good, she's happy with that. It's good
problem.
when you're coming into a competition at any level, whether they're a newcomer or not, that if you could come into the platform and get a lift that shows how hard you've been working and training, it's very satisfying.
Absolutely. And it's one thing hitting the lifts in the gym, but then on the platform, if you have a weight cut, you have 3 refs, you have commands, it's a different animal altogether.
Yeah, definitely.
So 50 kilo for Lauren. And it's a lot of pressure, so it's keeping your calm, keeping cool.
That's it.
Let's go.
She started off pressing very straight up, and then as soon as she started pushing the bar back towards her shoulders, it flew up.
Yeah.
So that's interesting for anybody that's pretty new to the game.
Yeah.
Pushing up and back from the outset, I'll make the lift a wee bit easier.
Yeah. And it's just reducing your range of motion again. You get that kind of almost like a curve rather than a straight line up and down. Kirsty here with 52.5 kilo. She's setting up her arch.
Her first bench was very good. Good setup.
That's
Her
right,
technique
yes,
was smooth
Yeah.
and strong.
So let's hope she can replicate that.
Keeps
for the
that
second.
chest high. And you
That's
can
really
see
good.
that her body never moved. It
Yeah.
kept solid all the way through.
And
Well done. That's a good lift.
the bar just completely motionless, and
Yep, there was no movement from side to side. Both arms came up evenly. It was good.
very, very nice bench technique. So Monica with 57.5 kilo. It just takes time to, I suppose, perfect that technique because it's an uncomfortable position and it's hard, but with time and effort and reps, and that's why
Yep, here's Monica.
Monica.
She had a wee bit of trouble at the start of her first with the feet. And she kind of got a bit of weight. And her feet look flatter this time. That's better.
So this is up 5 kilo from her first.
Keep those heels flat on the floor.
Looks a bit better to me.
Yep. Yep, that looks good.
So,
Good lift.
well, I think maybe just going up again, 2.5 maybe.
Yep.
Again, some people might call it a day there and just say, no, I want to just leave it at that and just go and come in fresh into deadlifts. It's kind
Well,
of up to yourself.
it
you know.
takes it out you as well. You're
Absolutely.
particularly your back. If you're
Yeah.
arching hard and then you've got a heavy deadlift to go, you've
Yeah.
not got much of a break between. It's not like you've got a day to wait and,
no,
and train the next day.
Absolutely. No, you can get a really bad back cramp. I sometimes get that. Lauren here at 60 kilo. Lauren here, happy as ever.
Long arms. I'm interested to see her deadlift.
Yeah.
She's getting
oh, the loops
I
around
think
her
the
thumbs.
loops round her finger on her wrist
That's
strap.
right, yeah.
You have to have the loops off your fingers. Well spotted by eagle-eyed Martin there.
Getting past Boa. Right, let's go. Up.
Push it.
Not quite there.
Again, it was kind of came up straight.
Oh.
A wee bit. Oh, nearly toppled off the platform there.
She's having a good laugh.
Don't worry, but nobody saw it.
Yeah. It's quite a tough one when you have to readjust. You go again. Jodie with 62.5 kilograms, and this is up 2.5 kilograms from her second, or from her first, I should say. Oh,
So no left unfortunately.
oh, not sure what happened there.
No.
62.5.
I think she done a movement and then went. Was that that?
Ah, could be that. Yeah, they do downward movement.
Yeah.
So when you're pressing, it's important that it goes straight up.
Yeah.
It can stall, but it cannot go back down
That's
and up
right.
again. So it's just kind of sticking through and not.
I'm going to try and rewind it actually on my phone and just have a look at that.
There.
Because I kind of turned my off it a wee bit. I was
Sam
trying to
going
actually
up
go in
5
into
kilo
YouTube
from
and see how
first.
much spectators we've got. We've got 47 people watching at the moment.
Oh wow, 47 people. That's quite a lot.
And here's Sam.
Let's go.
Matching t-shirt with her hair. Makes for a strong lift. And that's good.
That's good going for Sam.
67.5.
You'll be happy with that. Megan with 67.5.
I'm still trying to wait on that lift that we had a wee bit of dubiety on.
Yeah.
It's just coming up to it now and I'm replaying it, so we'll let you know what our opinion on that was.
So this is a 67.5 for Megan. She is opting for a handoff. See how she goes. Start command.
That looks strong.
Bad.
Looks
Not
strong. I
bad.
don't see anything wrong with that. That's
Nice.
a good lift.
Judges are happy.
70 on the bar, right? weight for next session, Katrina Bell.
So Trina Bell going up to 70 kilo. And yeah, again, this is a kind of big milestone number, the 70 kilo. So it's important just to treat it as a number and not idolize numbers too much, you know?
Yeah.
Treat it as maybe 2.5, 5 kilo up from your last, whatever. But don't over fixate on the numbers.
That's
See what's
right.
there on the day and just go from there. I think that's the big thing. I think the longer you get into lifting, the more you realize, you know, not to idolize too much about numbers. Of course, it's important to have goals and stuff, but you don't want to frighten yourself with numbers either. So Katrina, let's see how you get on. Nice.
Oh, an easy,
That was
strong lift.
very easy and no problem there. Just 70 kilo, didn't face Katrina at all.
I think she looks like she could be a very good lifter coming up. She's strong in every lift there.
Yep. Joanne with 100 kilo.
Have a 10-minute break before we start on the deadlift.
Big bench here now. Big old bench. And yeah, 2 plates in the gym, so no messing. Absolutely not. And
Yeah, I look back at that bench there.
Yep.
I think what I could see was, I've not got the sound on it, but I think she started before the start command. Because she took it to her chest and then got told to re-rack, so I think she started too early.
bench can be a tricky one. It's
Yeah.
getting 3 commands.
Yeah.
Start, press, rack. It's a lot you can get wrong as well, so yeah, it can easily be done.
Deadlift, you pick it up when you please, and there's only one command, that's down.
Grand. Let's see how Joanne gets on here now. Nice
Nice
and
controlled. I think she had a wee bit downward movement there, so I don't know if she'll get
Wow.
that. Oh, good lift.
She's happy about that. Well done, Joanne.
The referees didn't think downward movement, but she's got it, that's the main thing.
I mean, she did really well there because I just seen it stall and I thought, oh no, this isn't going, but she just pushed through and fair play to her.
Yeah, I think she maybe lost a wee bit of line and that threw her, but when she gathered herself back,
Yeah.
it came up quite strong.
Like fair play, like it's as I said before, it's really difficult to recover, especially the heavier weights from mismoving a bench. But you know, fair play, Joanne smashed it there. And she is going for 102.5, Joanne, for her third. So let's see how she goes. It's a very sensible third attempt. Hopefully she gets it, smashes it out the park. Back to Claire now, finishing off third attempts. Not you, Claire Talker. Claire on the platform. Claire Talker's looking at me, confused.
Let's see a good thick bench.
Nice.
Yeah,
Good.
good. That's a good lift.
Very good.
Delighted by that.
She'll be happy with that now.
Yep. So she should be.
3 for 3 on bench. Nice. Building that total. What's going on here?
Have we got something up with the plates?
Ooh.
Don't know what. I don't know what weight are we supposed to be on here?
52.5 it says here for Lauren.
If it's 52.5, it should be
So
a
it should be a
2.5 and a
2.5.
1.25.
Oh yeah, there is a 2.5. And a 1.25. I don't think it's it.
That's not a 2.5 should be black, no?
You're right. I think they're sorting it out now.
Yep. It should be a 2.5 and a 1.25.
Oh.
2.5, 1.25. I think they've got a 1.25 on that, just.
Get Claire Hamilton to the table.
Did they misload the weight? Ooh.
Did the last lifter have a too light a weight? Was that?
I think they might have misloaded on one side.
Ah, okay.
It's a tricky one. Oh,
Okay, so we have a mix on the
Yeah.
bar. So the player had put in for 52.5. I think we got 47. So we're going to give her a 4th attempt at the
okay.
end of the round.
Okay.
So Claire will go back for a 4th attempt because her 3rd attempt was misloaded.
So we have 52.5.
If for example, if her second lift had been 45 kilos,
Yeah.
and she put in 50 for her third, but they misloaded and put on 47 and a half, and she got it, she could have the option to take that as her third.
Oh, right.
She could say, I'm going to take that, but her second lift might have been the same as that.
Yeah.
So that's why she's obviously going to take the last one. But if it had been greater in her setting, but loaded, she would have the option to I'll just stick with that.
Yeah.
It's like I've got it in the bag, and then you could risk going up. And
That's it. It's just no one.
so there's a couple of wee technical rules there that are quite tricky at times to know or not.
That's it. I think, especially from reference like yourself, Bernie, you know the rule book inside out, and again, you know what the refs are looking for.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that are tricky that you don't come across, and particularly in the last couple of years, there's not been much call to referee, so you can get a wee bit rusty. So you've got to kind of be on the ball.
Absolutely. So this is Kirsty. I'm saying it wrong. I'm saying Kirsty, and she's going for her third. Kirsty's bench has been really consistent throughout. Really good, solid setup. So she's gone up, and hopefully 2.5 kilo. Hopefully she smokes.
Same
this.
setup again. I would think 2.5 would be in our remit easily here. No,
Just a little bit too much.
yeah. When you've got a particularly technical setup, it just needs to go wrong ever so slightly, and the weight could become very heavy.
Absolutely, and just it can come forward a little bit
Yeah,
as you're touching your chest, and sometimes it might be just too heavy. And with a wider grip,
that's right.
you have a bit less time to grind through it. Lauren here, she is going to retake her second attempt. Let's see how she goes. I think start command. And again, it just kind of comes forward as you're going up, and it's really hard to get that back, kind of a bit taken out of your groove.
That's right.
And it can be really hard to pull it back. Sometimes you can, but sometimes when you misgroove that much, it's just really hard to recover.
Yeah.
Especially when you're pushing yourself them heavier weights.
I see somebody on the chat is asking if the AM flight will be uploaded onto YouTube. It's actually, I've just checked, it's actually on it just now. So
Oh, wow.
maybe if you refresh your YouTube and go back and look, you'll see that the AM flight is currently on.
The morning
So
flight
you
was
could
the
you could
guys.
watch back on that anytime.
Yeah. Big lift in there as well in the morning flight.
Yeah. I had a couple of technical difficulties myself, but
Aye, Bernie, you were lifting, yeah.
new weight class is 66 kilos that I've moved down to first competition, so pretty happy with how I done. Few things to work on that I'd say more technical than anything else, but I'm happy with the day.
And that's it. It can be a bit difficult, especially when you're dropping a whole weight class, because obviously you were previously up in the 74s for a long time. Dropping down to 66 is a considerable amount, but also your body and your leverages change so much.
Yeah, I think I've more noticed it in my core, if you like, squat on, and I find the middle of my deadlift is find it hard to remain in position sometimes. The start and the end are as strong as they've been, but sometimes my positioning can be a wee bit out, and I think that's because I've not got the weight around the middle that I had before, where it would keep me in check. So the longer I remain at this weight, no doubt I'll strengthen my core up a bit more, and I'll probably be able to tackle the couple of wee technical things that went wrong. So all good. Rolling on to the British Equipped in January. I've now got a qualified total for, so
Nice.
we'll see how that goes, and then on to next year.
And I think as well, training close to your comp weight, you're getting used to them leverages. I know myself, I just stay in the same weight class, 83s, but sometimes I'll be very heavy. I might be 8 kilo in training.
Sam at 65.
When I drop down, sometimes my whole squat changes, my deadlift, so
Yeah.
can be something to be said as well for getting used to your weight class as well.
Yeah, definitely. It could take a bit of getting used to when you're even cutting a couple of kilos to make weight and stuff.
Sam at 65. Let's go.
Look strong, keep fighting through it.
Ooh, that was close.
She
And
was
again,
close.
That
And
was only 2.5 up from her last hole.
so sensible jump. On another day, that could have just got through that sticky point.
Yeah.
But it's fine margins in powerlifting, particularly bench press.
Absolutely.
You've got a tiny wee sticky point, and everybody's got around about the same area, halfway up. You either drive through that sticky point or
Yeah.
you get stuck.
Absolutely.
And driving through it could change from one day to the next.
Absolutely. Megan with 72.5. This is up
She
5 kilo.
She was pretty strong in her last. This will be quite tough, but she's working through it. That looks good.
Very impressive.
Yeah, that was
Very
impressive.
consistent. And 5 kilo up
Yeah,
per second.
5 kilos, good. It's a big jump on your last bench press, but she was up to the task.
Yeah.
I don't think she had much more in her, so it was a perfectly executed number.
Yep. And again, sometimes you see lifters, some of them don't wear wrist straps, some of them do. It's just personal preference.
Yeah.
With bench.
Sometimes it depends the flexibility of your wrist as well, because if a lot of people have got quite a flexible wrist and it could bend back, you could put a lot of pressure on your wrist and keeping your bar in the right alignment. The wrist strap, a lot of people you'll see wear it quite high up near their hand, which is just basically keeping that wrist in a straight position.
That's it.
So that it's not flexing backwards, and it just takes the bar out of that line through your forearm.
Yeah.
And that's a good lift.
That's 75.
But again, there's other arguments I've heard for the fact that you'll want to break your wrist as much as you possibly can, which reduces your range of movement. Because you bend your wrist back, you could take an inch off your rub.
That's it. But then again, do you
Your
lose
Japanese
power?
grip as well, it's similar. So there's a lot of things to consider. It might not work for everybody. So again, you find what's good for you.
And I think if you are going to use wrist straps on bench, the important thing is that you're wearing it, properly and around the joint, because some people wear it very loosely and it's down quite low and it almost looks like a wrist warmer.
Yeah, and it's sometimes not helping you at all.
So we'll go for a big
Here's
weight here.
again, another big lift.
102.5 kilograms. This is huge weight. Wow, and she is fired up.
And I'm assuming is this a master's record?
I think it is. Let's see, Joanne. Let's see it.
Gonna keep strong. Well, just a bit too heavy today. Kind of slid back the way, lost her line right at the bottom. Good attempt though, good lift in.
And you can see it's just such heavy weight that her central nervous system and her body's shaking because of the weight.
Yeah.
And it's just when you get to them bigger numbers, a bit difficult. But good shout at 100 kilo for Joanne. She'll be delighted with that.
Yeah, good lift.
So we're back to Claire, who's going to do her fourth attempt.
Yeah, I'm wondering now, I'm thinking how have we got a lift left, but it's the lift that wasn't given earlier because they loaded the bar too light, which is a bit unfortunate. But at least she's had quite a good rest.
Absolutely.
You get your lift at the end of the flight.
Yeah, you're getting that rest. Getting going.
She was quite comfortable. I'm quite confident that she'll get it.
Yeah. Just taking her time, setting up, ramming her shoulders into the bench, get a nice tight setup, and just, staying focused.
Yeah.
That's all you can do. Let's go, Claire.
No, too heavy.
Just a little bit.
Too heavy. I think mindset as well. She'd already in her mind done her third lift.
Yeah.
And you're complete, and then all of a sudden you've got told to come back out again.
It's
so
just really hard to come back and do a fourth attempt.
a wee bit unfortunate. There's no many. In fact, I wouldn't say there's been any mistakes today, and that's just something that happens.
Easily.
It happens on all levels, but we'll have another 10-minute break. We'll be back for the deadlift. So join us soon.
A little bit, please.
We don't want.
We are back at the Winter Open.
Yep, we've not missed anything. We clicked it on just a wee bit late there, but here we go for our first lift.
Jane doing 90 kilo for her opener on deadlifts.
The deadlifts will fly rapidly. They don't take long.
Absolutely.
It's been a very quick afternoon again.
Absolutely been flying by.
That looks a good lift. The flick of the belt there showed it all. We've got a total. I'm in.
No
And
problem.
a big smile. You can't beat a nice bench, a nice belt flick at the end of your deadlift.
It's always the best part.
The deadlift's the only real lift anyway, isn't it? Come on. Scott and bench are just really to set you up for the finale.
Bench, you're just chilling out, relaxing in between the lifts.
That's it.
Fiona with 110. See what she gets on. There we go.
She's a first lift specialist. The first lifts on all her lifts have been great. Really fast.
Yeah.
She's succumbed a wee bit on her second and thirds.
Yeah.
That's probably more experience than anything else, I'd say.
Just takes time. You kind of have to know how much you can grind, how much you should have on.
Yeah.
All them things. Yeah, like you said, just experience.
Here's on our sumo style.
Yep.
Her benches were very good as well.
Yeah, she's been having a good meet, Molly. There we go. That's a good position.
That's a good lift. You'll see. I'll talk about sumo a bit more probably, and I'll talk about conventional because I sumo myself. But a position there when the bar should start moving off the floor at exactly the same time as the hips move. You'll see a lot of lifters, the hips will come up first for quite a way, and then the bar comes. That's really you trying to pull conventional, but in a sumo stance.
Wide stance conventional.
Yep. So here's another sumo. We'll see where we are here.
Go.
You'll see the hips are a lot higher in the starting position.
Yep.
And again, it's where your kind of reflex is in your own body. Everybody can't start for a low position, but the key is for the hips and the bar to move simultaneously, so that everything's in one.
Absolutely, and you want your kind of hips ideally just to be anchored in at that point, so you're not wasting any energy.
Yeah.
You're not letting your shoulders go forward.
That's right.
Just
If you set yourself up and then you start pulling and the hips come up 3 inches before the bar moves, you're too high to begin with.
Absolutely.
Just set yourself at that 3 inches higher and start pulling, and you'll find that you'll be in sync a lot better.
Consistent, and you're saving
And
energy.
here's Arlene. She's lifted great today so far.
Arlene.
6 for 6, I believe.
Here we go.
And
Nice.
that was just as I said. He was pretty much bang on, moving at the same time. So more of our lifters sumo at the moment.
Yeah.
Gives you a shorter range of movement. Not always easier because it takes a bit of work and it's more technical. A lot more balance, and you're bringing a lot different muscles.
I think with sumo, it's just really hard on the adductors, and that you're using a lot of the lower body. But it's getting that technique down, isn't it?
I'm fighting an adductor strain myself at the moment that's been lingering for ages. And I was quite tough with it today. It kind of cost me my first lift, but it's one of these strains that is difficult to go, but you could normally work through it.
Yeah, and it's just gauging it and seeing, what can you work through, what can you not work through, going from there. But yeah,
Here's Crystal.
Crystal.
Now, what I could recall last time I seen her in the gym, she's very good technical deadlifter.
Yeah. And when you're having that good technique, your lifts are a bit more consistent. It's
Good lift. That looks good. 3 white lights.
And Elliot at 135.
Nelly coming up, 135. Sumo style again.
Sumo setup.
You didn't really see many people wearing deadlift slippers these days that they used to.
No.
Like a good few years ago, it was always the deadlift slippers, but sumo style, the slip, the roll down your feet. But that's Adidas Havoc that she's wearing. That's what I wear myself. They're great for deadlifting and very flat, very supportive. Your feet don't move in them at all. They're really good.
You need that supportive shoe, especially if that wider stance, because you don't want your feet to slip.
Yeah, they just spread out. They're just talking about it. There's somebody with deadlift slippers on.
Yeah.
You tend to stretch a wee bit though, and you don't get a lot of wear out of them. Conventional, you could get away with it a wee bit.
Yeah.
So
conventional, okay, but when you're really trying for that external rotation and pushing out, it could be
see the
dodgy.
difference in
Look
form.
at that. That's a nice conventional pull.
Perfect.
And,
Perfect.
It's really nice. You can really tell she's taking her time off the floor, and then a nice pop at the top.
That's right. But again, it's similar. It's similar to sumo. You don't want to be locking your knees out and then good morning the rest of the way up.
Yeah.
You're kind of wanting a wee bit of simultaneous movement with your knees and your lower back to start bending at the same time. And it's important to
Tasman, 185.
185 for Tasman.
Tasman is a great sumo puller.
Yeah. I'd like to see her going over 200 today again.
Let's see.
She's a great competition so far. Must be in the running for best lifter.
Absolutely. Look at that.
Bit of movement at the top there.
Yeah.
But sumo's a difficult one. If you're held at the top for too long, because your feet are spread so wide, you've not got much of a platform or a base. So you're basically balancing on like a balance beam, if you like, because you've not got a solid platform. So it's difficult to hold it at the top if you're held too long.
Yeah.
But she executed that
And I think
perfectly.
as well, it depends on your foot stance. If some people are more of a straight foot when they're sumo,
Yep.
it's more quads,
Yep.
more balance at the top. If you're a wider foot, it's
Bringing a bit more glutes.
bit more glutes, you got hips a bit closer, but again, you have the balance issue at the top sometimes. It's getting a bit in between. Jay with 100, kicking off seconds.
Strong, very
There we
strong.
go, very
Yeah,
consistent.
good lift. Big flick with the belt.
The bell flick, so you know she means business.
That's it.
Absolutely.
They're flying through these deadlifts.
Yeah. And I think as well, it's important to realize when you're competing, especially the deadlifts, these bars, these Alico bars, there's absolutely no bit of gift to them whatsoever.
No,
especially
there's
them narrow calibrated plates.
Yeah.
You know, compared to if you're deadlifting on an Olympic bar with bumper plates, you get a lot of whip. These,
Nothing.
nothing.
Particularly anything below 200 kilos, there's going to be no movement at all.
No.
Once you get starting up towards 300, you might get a slight bend in the bar, but it's negligible, really.
And the handful of people that can deadlift 300 as well, so
Yeah.
it's a tough one. Now, this is
Yeah,
nice.
that's a great sumo technique, to be fair. She's drilled in perfectly. There's nothing moving at all that shouldn't.
Absolutely. It's just locked in. And that, do you know what? That just takes time because you have a tendency to kind of get a wee bit nervous and rush it from the start.
Yeah.
But if you take your time off the floor, it'll be a bit harder, but the lockout will be a lot easier.
You've got to be patient with a sumo deadlift.
Absolutely.
Off the floor is harder in sumo. Off the floor in conventional is a bit easier. Lockout conventional is more difficult, and vice versa. The lockout in sumo is easier. Your body's more upright. You're already near that finished position.
Yeah.
So if you'd see a sumo puller getting off the floor, 99% of the time you'll see them near virtual lockout.
Yeah. If they don't get it, it's usually a technical reason. Sometimes they lock their quads too early and they lose a bit of balance, but lose a bit of balance at the top. But it's more so balance.
I was watching. There was a few guys earlier in the first flights who were kind of failed in a couple of lifts where it's important to get the shoulders back when you reach the top of a lift. But when you're sumo, if you lean back too far with your upper body, the tendency is your knees will break. Your knees will break and you'll be called on soft knees and fail your lift.
Yeah, that's the trouble.
That's not moving, I don't think.
Oh.
But you could see the difference in the technique from the last lifter to there. The height of her hips at the start was massive, and she was almost doing a stiff leg deadlift right from the off. So it was all lower back in that position, which isn't going to work in that stance.
Not optimal once you get to the heavyweight.
No, once you get heavy, it becomes so difficult.
Trouble. So we have Beatrice again, 130 for Beatrice.
She's lifted well today as well.
Her second attempt. That's 125 for her first.
First attempt was 125. She went up 5 kilos. That's a sensible jump.
Sensible. There we go. And that
looks
solid.
a good lift. That looks
Nice.
a good lift. Yeah, good lift.
That's a good strong pull.
She's happy with that. I think most lifters are normally, if you finish a competition and you've got all setting lifts. Oh, is there something happened there? One of the spotters is heading off. Hopefully everything's okay.
Yeah. Arlene up now, and Arlene has had a great comp. This is her second attempt, deadlift 135. Very consistent, very experienced lifter. Let's see how she goes.
You could see how it was harder off the floor, but once you got a move in, it was there. And that's a typical sumo deadlift.
And it was just a minimal amount of repositioning for her body.
Yep.
Shoulders hit minimally.
Sometimes you could feel it when you sumo, that you just feel like you're maybe leaning forward a wee bit or back, and you could actually correct yourself enough to get it off the floor, but you've got to be patient with the bar sumo.
Yep.
You've got to know that it's going to be hard to begin with.
That's it.
And you've got to stick with it.
And it's more of a mental game a lot of the time than anything else.
Here's Crystal, 135.
135.
Again, as I said, she's a good technical lifter as well. So sticking with the technique, and hopefully she'll get it.
There we go.
That's a good lift.
And you'll see some lifters, some like to brace the top before they reach the bar, some like to go down and brace while they're holding the bar. Myself, I like to brace at the top, get a good position, and then go down. But I know some people that do that and they feel a bit too light-headed, so it's a hard one. Robin, 142.5.
Look good. Oh, yes.
And that's a really nice technical conventional
That
pull.
was a good lift.
And
Very strong. Very strong. There's a lot more in the tank there. And particularly down the line, I would say.
yeah. And sometimes you'll see with that kind of style of conventional, 50% legs, 50% back, and it's a nice balance. And again, a little bit slower midway through, but then the lockout fires back. So, real nice. 145. Bernelli. And her feet are actually turned out quite a lot.
Yeah, I kind of turn my feet out like that as well, but it makes your platform and your base so much more difficult. If you lose alignment at all, it's hard to keep your balance.
Yeah.
But the reason that your feet are turned out further is the closer the bar becomes to your body, and the closer any lift to your body, it's easier.
Yeah.
So the further you lift away from your shins, it becomes harder to pull. So by turning your feet out, you use that flat inside part of your shin, and it takes a wee bit of distance off away from your body, technically making it easier. So that's the whole point. Knees further out, keeps it close to your torso, and technically it should make it easier to pull.
That's it. Tasman here with 195.
195.
This is some big weight here. Let's see how she goes.
If she pulls this, it'll definitely be a 200 on the bar next.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
Good lift. That was solid. That was actually better than the first lift.
Yeah, I think
She
she might have
kept her position better.
tweaked a few things.
She's dancing away there, quite happy. I think, I don't know if memory serves me correctly what the Scottish record is. It may be 205. May not be now, right enough. There's been a few good deadlifters lately. But she used to have, I'm sure, at 205, but I think that's probably been broken. So we'll see if she goes for it. I'll try and find the records.
I'll have a look and check. We are moving on to third attempts, and this is when things get a little bit crazy. Last lift of the day, people just like to load it up and just see where they're going. And some people
She's running out to the bar. She's been pretty fired up, more fired up now.
Absolutely, and
This looks
pushing
like
it.
probably
pushing it
her
to the
personal
limit.
best. Keeps her form like the last two.
Let's see how it goes, taking her.
Looking good.
Look at that. Stuck to it really well.
Yeah, that was a good one.
And that's a really good attempt.
I thought she thought she had maybe dropped it there before she got it to the floor, but I think they had already pressed white lights before she done that. But I think she was fine. Right, let me have a look at these records. What weight category is Tasman actually in? Is she in 76 or is she 69?
Not too sure. We have Molly
I'm
going
not-
with 120.
The Powerlifting leads. Let's see it from Molly. Her last deadlift of the day.
Let's go, Molly.
Tasman's in the 69 category.
All right.
So it's obviously the new weight category. So I'd imagine that record
Standard.
might be, it's a standard for the deadlift at 187.5.
All right.
So that last record, the Tasman's, was actually a Scottish
That'll be a
record.
record, yeah.
Yep.
Nice. That's a really nice pull.
Because Alice Francis Freeman has it in the 76 category at 212.
Wow.
So I knew that was Kenny broken. Annie Nelson in the 63 is 202. So I would take a guess that she might stick 200 on.
Yeah. It's a nice round number, 200, and real impressive weight. We have Cheryl coming back. She missed her second of 122.5. She's taking the same again for her third. Let's hope she gets it. We adjust some things. Goes from there then.
Yep, again, you could see it. It's like high hips. It's the start position just a wee bit out there. But the heavy weight forces you into that sometimes.
Just a little bit pulled out of position. And, you know, these things can happen at heavier weights. You get a bit pulled out of position. Push things a bit hard.
I see Tasman's going for 200.5 kilos on her third.
Nice.
I'm assuming that's maybe a personal best. Maybe her best before was 200. Because she's already broken the record. So that chip, you could chip anything above a record.
Yeah.
Even if it's 10 above the record, you could chip it by a half. So I'd imagine that she's going for 200.5 as it's probably a personal best.
Easy.
Good lift.
That'll be a personal best at that body weight anyway, 69.
Yeah, it will be because it's a new weight category and she's not competed for 3 years. She took a year out and then lockdown cost her another two years, and she actually was carrying an injury as well. So
Yeah.
it's been a wee while since she's been lifting, so it's a welcome return.
I think there's a comment here. What did Tasman get on her squat? I think she got 155.
155 was her squat.
155 in squat.
Powerlifting.
So we have Beatrice coming in with 140. So this is a big jump, 10 kilo jump. So let's see how she goes. Big milestone, 3 plates, 140. Conventional pull. Mixed grip.
Off the floor normally a bit better. Nah,
Just a little
bit heavy today.
Again, some people just want to go for it at their third attempts. Fair enough. Fully sended. Why not?
Right, indeed.
She's had a good day. Good lifts across the board. Crystal coming up now at 140 as well. Racing at the top.
Just getting a feel for where your shoulders want to be when you get down to the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah, that looks good.
That's it. There we go.
Very technical, good lift. Kept her form perfectly. I thought she started to pull it a bit quickly
Yeah.
before she set herself at the bottom. And sometimes that could be to your detriment because you're not fully tight. But she was obviously locked in before she got there.
Yeah.
And kept her in position.
It's just taking your time and keeping that position. And that's really crucial. Arlene has gone up to 142.5.
I believe this will be 9 for 9 today.
This is 7.5 kilo up from her second. So really impressive.
I think it'll take everything for this lift though. But her technique's been good and she's lifted strong,
Yep.
so I wouldn't count her out.
She's been consistent. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Wow, that was some grind.
Yep, I was.
The ref say, yes!
Yes, 2 to 1. Well
Well
done.
done, Arlene. Amazing.
As I thought, it was every ounce to get that lift. I think a feather on top of that and it was gone.
Wow. And it's just sticking with it. Takes maybe a few Mississippi seconds, but stuck with it, and there you go.
Well, she might be a close call for best lifter because she's done great.
Yeah, Arlene has had a serious comp. and only weighing, I think, 54.5 kilograms in the 57 kilo weight class. We've Raul coming up now at 150.
Come on then, strong pull again.
Let's go. There we go.
Oh,
Wow.
how fast was that?
Unreal.
That certainly,
Well done.
well, that looked like an opener.
That was really snappy, really sharp.
Just remind me, was that a third lift? Come on.
That's crazy.
It shows you what a bit of confidence does on your first two, though. She kind of pulled like that, like a sumo. It was hard off the floor, but snapped it
Yeah,
at the top.
could just be like that. Oh, let's go. So this is a 7.5 kilo jump as well. A big jump. Second, third. She's just taking her time, getting all set, ready.
Making sure she's in position. As I said, she's got that wide, turned out foot stance, which makes it difficult.
Just-
Not there today.
It's a little bit too much.
Yeah, sumo's hard off the floor. If that would got moving another day, she might have locked it.
Oh, the Scottish record.
200.5 kilos for Tasman Campbell. This will take the 69 kilo women's open record. She already took that record on her second attempt at 195. That was a standard of 187.5 for the new weight category that's been created. So she's setting the standard here, and a very good standard it is.
Great, crazy standard. And again, chipping it with the 0.5.
Yeah, I believe her PB at the last weight category might have been 200, so that's probably why she went up a half a kilo. So come on, Tasman, get this pulled.
Let's go,
Looking at the
Tasman.
last lift, this should be there.
So she's
I'm
getting
going
fired up.
to put it out there.
Staying focused, everything is the same.
Stick with it, and pull. Great lift,
Very good.
great lift. You can see how you have to stick with it with sumo at the beginning.
Yeah.
It looked like it was nailed to the floor, and as soon as it got to mid shin, it was snapped.
Yeah, and just sticking with it, keeping those knees out.
Yeah.
And so we're into the second and last flight of lifters.
Yes.
Blackburn will be our first lifter in Group D. She'll be followed by Lauren Mason, Kirsty McConnell, and Claire Hamilton.
Some good deadlifting being done this afternoon there. Some great standard.
Yeah,
Varying techniques.
yeah, lots of different techniques.
A
And
lot of different weight categories. Very interesting, actually.
it's good, and you can learn a lot as well from seeing different approaches. Emma has a good fan base here. Getting pumped up.
100 kilos.
100 kilos, yeah.
Nice round number.
That's a nice pull. Nice conventional
Yeah,
pull.
I think she could do about 10 reps from that, I think.
Yeah,
I saw a guy deadlifting earlier, actually. I think it was in my flight. And he pulled his, I think it was his opening deadlift. And when he put it down, he grabbed it again. I thought he was going to do 2 reps. I was right, one's enough. That's fine.
I wish I had that problem. Jesus. Right, 100 kilo for Lauren.
Another easy lift.
No problem.
Yeah. Sensible openers. Get your lift in.
Get a total. That's you on the board.
107.5 for Kirsty McConnell.
Kirsty is going to 107.5 for her opener. All checking the weights okay.
A wee change there.
Reaching. There we go.
That's part of the centre referee's job to make sure that the weights are loaded.
Yeah.
So once they're satisfied that the the bar's loaded correctly, they'll give the bar loaded command before the announcer then calls it on the mic, and then once that's called, that's you ready.
That's you ready. There we go. No problem.
Good
there.
lift, no problem.
Just see.
2 to 1. I think they maybe called that on soft knees.
Right.
She leaned back quite. I think her knees were locked and she leaned back, and it might have softened as she leaned.
That can happen sometimes.
And Martin's indicating that was the case. But she got a 2 to 1.
Got the lift. Should go for again. Clear at 120. There we go, a little bit of work, but
Comfortable lift.
no problem.
120 stays on the bar for Williamson.
120 again.
Lauren's had a smile on her face from the start.
Lauren's always happy.
Don't know if I had a smile on my face with my last, but I had a smile on my face at the end, though.
At the end.
Yeah.
She's happy.
Well done, good luck.
There we go. Sam is going 125. 2 reds. Spotter's getting pumped up here. Yep. The tunes. All right. Sam also a sumo puller. Getting the setup, making sure all's okay. That's it. There we go.
Yeah, he's a good,
Nice.
good deadlifter as well.
That's a nice setup.
TV openers all around. Move Bostic 127.5. Barfoot.
We have Monica 127 and a half.
Oh.
Monica getting
This is
conventional deadlift.
put a total on your
Yeah,
scoreboard. Want everybody to get that
There we
first
go.
lift in.
no problem.
Looks good. Easy.
These openers so far have been very sensible.
Good.
It's
Beautifully followed by Megan Katrina.
130.
Getting ourselves set up.
Yeah.
Pulling in tight. Good lift.
Good lift.
Oh.
135 now for Megan Taylor.
Sometimes you'll see some lifters, they'll have a over-under or a mixed grip. Some lifters, they'll prefer a hook grip. It just really depends. I know a lot of sumo pullers, some of them opt for the hook grip. And it just depends if you're able to manage it.
That's right. I think particularly on sumo hook grips, it's beneficial because your under grip hand, your back of your hand's on your leg, and it could force away from your leg, pushing the bar away, and you could tend to twist the bar a bit. So conventional, that doesn't really come into play because it's totally bar sliding up your legs and not your hand. So hook grip can be beneficial on a sumo, keeps it pulled in tighter to the body.
I think you're maybe a wee bit less of a risk of kind of whelming and let the bar come out in front of you.
Yeah, that twisting the bar's quite a regular occurrence when you go heavy on sumo.
Yeah, that's easy.
Yeah, that was an easy one. She's lifted well all day. Well, quite impressed actually with her lifting. She's been very strong through every lift and very technical.
Oh, Emma 107 and a half.
That's back to down to the sitting lift already.
Absolutely flying through this flight.
I mean, the last lift was 100, is that right? And this is 107
107 and a half.
and a half. So The last one was easy. I can't see there being a problem here.
No bother there.
Nice, easy.
That's a really easy set.
Good lift. She's happy with that.
Absolutely.
Loaded.
Lauren coming up. 107.5 again. Staying focused. Getting her brace. There we go.
I don't know if her sound's out of sync with the lifting because I'm looking at my screen here and it's a wee bit behind.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's a little bit behind.
Don't know if I could fix that. Let me try.
Not sure what the story is with that.
So I don't know if her commentary's out with
Right.
the lifting.
Sorry.
If it is, we apologise. You'll be getting us commentating early on the lift you're watching.
Sorry about that, guys.
This is Kirsty McCahill up,
Kirsty at 115.
150.
Simo.
So we'll be calling the lift good or bad before you see it, I think. So
There we go.
we might just start calling it, looking at it on the screen, I think. So I'm not sure if it's out with yourselves or not. May not be, but I'll check on my own.
We'll just double check. We're a bit behind, are we?
Yeah, I think it's running a wee bit behind here, but I don't know. Hopefully the commentary is running the same. So apologise if that's the case. It wasn't earlier, so we might be out a wee bit.
Sorry about that, guys. Bit of a delay there.
I think it's we've got a warning up on the screen saying that the stream's rate is a bit low, so that might be the problem.
Yeah. So that was Claire, who just did 130 for a second. We have Lauren going in 130 for a second again, and Lauren back out on the platform, relaxed, happy to be there, smiling away. No problem to Lauren. There we go. And that was a really good second.
Yeah, easy left.
130, short work of that.
132.5 for our next lifter, Sam.
Sam going 132.5 for a second attempt.
Bar is loaded.
I think we're one lifter behind. I think on the stream to live. I think so. Not much we could do about it just now.
Sam setting up for 132.5, locking the hips in. There we go. Easy work. And Sam gets coached by the guys at ATS. Will and John. We have Jodie with 135 for her second. Getting yourself ready, bracing. Reaching down for the bar. There we go. Consistent throughout. See what the refs say. They're happy. So we'll see what she goes for a third.
Don't know if we've lost picture. That's kind of searched a wee bit here.
Oh. Okay. Bit of a delay there. Yeah, still.
Yeah, we're still a wee bit behind, but
What can you do?
try to fix that there, but it's no joy at the moment.
Right. We are
Monica up 135.
She did conventional style.
Strong off the floor.
No problem.
Good lift.
That's a good second. Good room there for third attempt.
Yeah, I think there's a bit more than that.
Megan Taylor's next, 150 on the bar.
Megan now with 150. Getting up decent numbers here. Real big weight.
Bar's loaded.
Sorry, yeah. What can you do? Let's go, Megan. That's a really nice technical
good
pull.
lift. He's been quite strong and technical throughout our lifts as well, and solid.
She's had a good meet.
Yep, very good.
Right, we have Katrina, 155 kilograms. This is a big second attempt. No issues there.
Yeah,
Strong
good left.
throughout.
Knees again, and Martin's suggesting it's a soft knee. But good 2-1.
12 kilos. 112.5. We're heading into putting up the 10 slices of the day.
This is the final lifts in the third round.
So here we'll see the lifters really pushing it. Third attempts. Just going all out for it, really.
Yeah, 10 lifts to go.
Let's go down.
The crowd here are right behind her. That really helps with deadlifting the third attempt. Let's get yourself pumped up.
I can't see this being a problem the way she's lifted already.
Ah, fantastic.
Yeah, good lift.
Oh,
Oh, she nearly threw it away. Oh, nearly.
you put that down with conviction.
I think the centre ref gave her a red because she didn't have control of the bar.
Yeah.
The rule is that you must have control of the bar until it hits the floor. Now, some referees, I watched an Australian competition 2 or 3 years back where a guy returned the bar to the floor every time and his hands were still on it. But he put it down with so much force it bounced up and down a couple of times, but he still held it.
Yeah.
But they failed him on every lift because he didn't put it to the floor with control.
Oh, right.
It was a bit controversial at the time, I remember. But the rule states they've got to put control the bar to the floor.
Right. I always thought you just have to hold on to it.
Yeah, that's in the main. I think if you've got your hands on the bar, you'll get the lift.
Okay. There you go, guys. Be a bit careful when you're
But
slamming on
sometimes
the
the rules can be open to interpretation, which
Yeah.
is a wee bit strange at times.
Yeah. But then again, you get pumped up. You got your third. Some
That's
people-
it. She's flying high. She's just happy she got it.
Kirsty going in for her third.
Yep. This
She's
will be a tougher lift.
5 kilo up. Good
Yep.
jump.
You'll have to work at this one. And you should have to work on your third.
Yeah. There we go.
Yeah, good lift. Good lift. Keep those
That's
knees
a
locked.
really good.
I think we got one red for a soft knee the last time, but she looks good this time. Yep.
That's just making adjustments
Good
on the
one.
fly. And,
Yeah, that's right.
Next lifter, Claire Reynolds.
Very good lift.
Delighted with that. Player 135 coming up.
I've just been told there that our stream and commentaries in sync for everybody, so that's good news. It's shown on our screen that we're behind a wee bit, so that's good.
Oh, that's grand.
Thanks for that, Beth.
Just as well. Player going for 135. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Come on then, keep pulling it. Straighten up, keep going, keep pulling. Her hands start to
Let's
go, her
see.
right hand, has she got it? Close call, yes, 2-1, good
That's
lad.
what you call it. A good
Good
third
lad.
attempt to deadlift.
I think if she had have been held for an extra setting, that bar was slipping out her right hand.
Yeah, big time. Just when you get to them heavier weights, man, it's so hard to keep holding out, and it feels like an eternity waiting for the front command. But
But she's got her 3 out of 3, so it was a bang on attempt.
yeah, absolutely. Jody, 137.5. And she's only going up 2.5 kilo.
Come on then, rip it off the floor.
But again, sensible jump.
Yes, that looks
There we
good.
go.
That's what you call controlling it to the floor.
Absolutely.
Good lad. That was actually easier than her first, I would say.
Yeah, and she couldn't go into her
And
groove.
by the way
but-
she ran off there, I'd think that she's not even done a warm up yet. She's so much energy.
if you could do another
I
attempt.
think I was crawling off the floor after my third one. A bit of dancing going on there by the
Bit of
platform
dancing.
crew.
They're happy enough. They're happy to be there.
There they go. They've been spot on and loading the whole day, and they've still got some energy to entertain the crowd. There you go.
Absolutely happy to be here. Going for a third.
Come on,
go.
pull it up. Oh yeah.
Now.
Now
Look
that
at that.
right knee bent a wee bit at the top. I hope she gets
Look
it.
at
Yeah. Eagle Eye Jim at the end. There, give a red light. And that was purely because she'd kind of bent her knee slightly at the top. But you're in deadlift, actually in the rules as well, you've got written in you could have settling of the bar at the top. So you could pull it up, and the settling of the bar may make it look like you've done downward movement, but it's the settling of the shoulders, and that is written in the rules. So that could be forgiven. Here's Monica on her start.
Monica, 140.
140. 135 was her last, I believe. So this is well in the tank.
Let's see.
Off the floor, and that's looking good. I think she's got it. There could be interpretation she's rested on the thighs. We'll see. No, she's got it.
She got it.
Got it. Well done.
A lot of people get their thirds. Really good attempt selection.
Yep.
And, you know,
It's
hard.
I don't think we've had a. It's going to be commentator's curse here, but we've not had a third failure yet.
I know, it's
So-
touch wood.
I hope I've not jinxed it for anybody.
Oh, I hope not. But it's been a really good attempt selection here. Really good.
Here's Sam. Another 140.
Let's go, Sam.
Sitting in.
There we go.
And pulling up. Technique's
There we go.
nice.
Nice.
The technique took us through that lift there comfortably. There was no deviation of movement.
Nope.
The shoulders didn't come forward. And when it gets really heavy, if you could dial in that technique, that's when you make the lift.
Absolutely. And you can keep that position, stay there, keep the knees out, anchor the hips, keep the shoulders static.
Yeah.
Just up, you're sorted. It's easier said than done, but it takes a lot of time and practice, but it does make the difference.
Yeah.
Because really, it's really hard to grind out sumo. Okay, conventional, but with sumo, it's kind of hit or miss, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. You're grinding the sumos at the beginning.
Yeah. Mega 160.
Yeah, she's been strong all day.
This is a big 10 kilo jump. Let's see.
You up
Let's
to the
go.
task? I think she is.
Come on
I
now.
think she is. Lean back. Hold it there.
Let's see.
That was a great lift.
Unreal.
Great lift.
That was a
Excellent.
really good attempt selection.
She's trying to hold the smile in there. She's grinning from ear to ear though.
Yeah. Bit wrecked after that attempt.
Is this our last deadlift of the day? We got one
I think, yeah, last deadlift of the day.
last deadlift of the day.
Katrina Bell at
165 kilos for Katrina.
So, Katrina closed us out with deadlifts.
Last lift. Everybody cheering for Katrina. Last lift. Again, another lifter today that I've been impressed with.
Yeah,
She's been solid on every lift.
consistent.
I think we'll
Focus.
see a lot more of her in the future.
Absolutely.
Looking good, yes.
That-
That's well in. Oh,
Oh,
there's a few people wanting the bar go a wee bit early. A wee bit early. I think that's what Martin called it for. She's had a couple of red lights throughout the competition for wee silly stuff, but she's made her lifts, which is the main
Yep.
thing. That's just experience, but great competition. Thanks very much, Aaron, for joining me this afternoon. And we'll see a bit of presentation. I think we'll cut off the commentary for the presentation, and we'll just let the stream go, and you could watch the presentation and listen to the announcer calling out who's won what. So thanks very much. We'll see you at the next time.
all
Thank
the
you.
best, guys. Cheers.
Bye.
Thank you.